Make it so.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
What is going on here, number one? Engage!
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone. What is going on here, number one?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I shouldn't be so confident.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Stay calm, everyone.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Engage! On screen.
What the hell is going on?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Strange. Make it so.
I don't know.
No response, sir.
Enlarge and identify.
In my opinion, sir, they're gibberish.
I'm picking up an unusual disturbance in the nearby quadrant.
Engage. Move to intercept.
I shouldn't be so confident. Slow to impulse speed.
Damn it. I can't stop the heterocyclic declination. We need a biomolecular physiologist in here. This man is dying.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone.
I am fully functional.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Let's investigate. Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough! Engage.
This is Blue.
Let's investigate.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timelines Talk. Featuring guest stars. The fact of the matter is, oh my, it stars and garters. Also featuring, more like Command Dip Suck, look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, there's no way he gets this intro right. Here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic edition of Timelines Talks. I am your host, Captain Idol. I am joined, as always, by our hot sellers and hot buyers, Automaton 2000 and Stars and Garters, and we're here at the crux of the stock market to give you the hottest tips, the hottest deals, the best buys, the best lows, everything you can. I don't know stock markets, so someone's going to have to help me out here with the jingo. Over to you, Auto, with the latest news. What do you know? What's the latest on the stock?
You butchered that intro. That's what I know.
When don't I? Oh, yes, thank you, everyone, for coming.
Now, he was trying to be nice and call us hot commodities.
Yes, hot commodities. Yes, there's a lot of hot commodities going around in the intro of the celestial market.
I know you've got this whole spiel lined up, so before we dive into that, we haven't had a regular show with three of us in like
it's been some time.
2 months or something.
It's been a while, actually, between adventures and game streams and prime lines.
It's good. It's good to have you both back. Both together.
I'm glad to be back with you guys.
This is Timelines Talks Classic.
This is the original. We tried to promote new Timelines Talks for a while, just to sort of tank the sales. So when Classic came back, all the viewers would flood back, and all the rest. Yeah.
And you know, things are picking up in real life too. I had, as you guys know, my first trip to a restaurant in like 18 months. Because here in Germany, things are pretty have been pretty tight. So. Things are finally looking up. You know, we're going outside. The sun is shining. I'm in a good mood today.
What did you have? Good. What was it you ate? I saw that. I know what you had. What you got?
I ate like 4 pounds of potatoes.
That sounds like enough.
There's steak with herb butter, and then an assortment of fried potatoes. Oh, it was good.
That's nice. I like that.
So anyway,
I'm hungry again. I just ate. And I'm hungry again.
You said steak and some sort of lovely sort of potatoes dripping and whatever fat they were cooking. Yeah, lovely. So this podcast is now not vegetarian friendly. Okay. First off, let's talk.
Was it ever?
I don't know. We've never really talked about food. Hey, we should have a cooking episode where we talk about the food they cook, like Neelix's recipes and like all the stuff that Chef cooks on Enterprise and
Riker's O1 eggs.
Yes. Oh god, yeah.
And Stars can play Worf and gobble them down while we're making faces.
It's good.
Which one of you is going to be Hoshi, who goes insane trying to replicate her mother's noodles?
That could be a good one. Okay, as we do every week, let's talk about the event winners. Winning a wonderful 5 of 5, John Frederick Paxton. Congratulations to SSR's own This Cisco for a very high score and getting number 1 in that event. And we have a little story about This Cisco we will get to in just a minute, which Auto will regale us on how he got his win. But in number 2, IPA Gleese. Or Glisse? I think it's just Glisse, isn't it? Travelling Man, who runs the cab at number 22. Glisse. It's
French.
Yeah. Wide Brim at number 25. QA's own Data at 41. And yeah, the notable names that we mentioned. If you had a shout out and we missed it, I do apologise. Come and get to know us better. Auto, please tell us, like, what... This Cisco won this one, and it's like, we've remarked for a while that, oh god, where's Mechalo? Where are KM this event? Because they usually, every faction event, they dominate. So I think this has kind of been a bit unusual. But there is also a funny story behind this.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Klingon Marauders at the top. I think this is
that's
like
what that stands for.
At least the third... I just made that up. No, it actually is Klingon Marauders. I think it's like the third or fourth event in a row that Michelob hasn't been at the top, so... Yeah, we had this.
Why are you slacking, bro?
We had this outrageously huge offer wall sale where you had 4 times the.
That was crazy.
Actually, I guess we didn't prepare. Someone shared a screenshot in the main Discord
Oh,
of
yeah,
an
I
offer
did have
paying
that
out
somewhere.
119,000 dilithium.
That was crazy.
Jesus.
Seriously.
I don't know what the
mad.
offer was. Maybe they had to buy a house, but that's a lot of dilithium.
I think the only time I've seen that much dilithium was in one of your accounts just before you re-rolled it.
Oh yeah, well, I just buy regular premium packs of that and then airlock it all. So yeah, I was a little worried. And if you were on the Discord last week, I was asking around to say, is anyone planning on blowing all their offer theme to win this event? And no one squeaked up, but I guess this Cisco did. And so I contacted him before the show and asked, is there anything you want to share about your faction win? This is his first event win, although I think he's been playing for quite a while. Congratulations,
Yes,
yeah.
congratulations.
He also has a bunch of first to max on crew. He got little blue boy Wesley, who was a recent crew.
You won his event and you don't even know his name.
No, I did it for the art.
Mhm.
And today's Kim
Ah,
holding the child. I think he has first to max on there. So I asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, it's my first win." And he used over 100,000 dilithium for this.
oh my word.
So faction events, if you're looking to win, because I know he jumped out to an early lead. I checked early on, and he had like 3 million points, while everyone else was in the 5 digits or so. So I said, "You don't mind me saying that on stream, right?" I said, "No, if it helps other people plan, because it is what it is. As long as that's the way that WRG has it set up, it is a dilithium to win event." So we also want to give credit to his squad mates, Elias Choice, Photon Kim, Kalamakis, and Kiwi for boosting him up. So congratulations to all you guys. It is not easy to win an event. So congratulations to you. Oh, and before I forget, this Offerwall dilithium he got it from buying Olay lotion offers on the Offerwall. So not only is he extremely moist at this point, but he's planning on giving it away as a Christmas present. So
With that much lotion, you'd give a lot away, I think. Just got a fleet shout out from SSR's Evans of Wales. SSR is now joint second on individual event winners thanks to Cisco's Day, so it was a big boost up for the SSR fleet.
No, he didn't say Cisco's Day.
Yeah, Cisco's
Olay.
Olay.
Oh, thanks to Cisco's Olay. Sorry, I read that wrong. Fantastic. Yes, for anyone that doesn't know, you can now use channel points to do fleet shoutouts and all sorts of lovely stuff. You get channel points just for watching or subscribing, or not subscribing. You don't have to subscribe, but for following. And yeah, you can ask us questions, do fleet shoutouts, and we'll have a look at it. And you can even make it Alamarain or suggest us something that we read out a piece of Trek for 25,000 points or hair flips. Sorry. There you go. We got one right there. And another quick. Sorry.
I'm having.
Did it not work?
Did it work?
Oh shit! Why didn't it work?
Oh, because I don't know.
You
was
did. I think you did it as a reply.
responding to
There we go.
someone?
It's all over you.
Yes, Anson, it's all over.
Idle has been hard at work setting up all sorts of hilarious random things for the channel. So
This is gonna be fun.
yeah, it's
Just
gonna be
a
wild.
very quick shout out to Nifty Mittens for getting the first to max on Paxton very early on. He think you did the Darbo run, didn't you? So bonjour and applause. Well done on the first to max on that. It's good to. I think it's the only way that Paladin doesn't get it is if you do it on the Darbo, or you get very lucky. So there you are. Shall we talk about the meat of the episode, the very feature that has launched today, that was announced about a month ago, or a couple of months ago, when Ben came on and did sort of announcement on the Celestial Market is now here today, as launched. You can now go in, dive, buy and sell and be the insider. And I've seen a lot of insider trading already going on, and this is some very nefarious tactics about, selling low and buying high, or whatever it is the way you go. I don't know. I think I might have got that the wrong way around. But rather than have us explain it, we've got a special colleague, haven't we? Or what was his name again?
We have competition actually from Wicked Realm Games. They've opened up their own YouTube channel.
Dare they?
Yeah, so they're kicking us to the curb, and they the first video they released, I guess, is explaining this new Celestial Market feature. So they've already put in the work. So I think you have the video to play.
And yeah, let's play that video. That is 100% how the celestial market works. No, nothing different about it.
Hello, I'm Ronan Candleman, Chief Stonks Officer of the Ferengi Gambling Consortium, here to introduce our new cryptocurrency, Polcoin. Polcoin offers you the safety and security you've come to expect from cryptocurrency, but instead of being mined in a Southeast Malaysian sweatshop, you can start earning Polcoin today, from the comfort of your Android or iOS device. Here at the Polcoin home screen, you can scroll, select, and inspect to see a staggering amount of Tosk and Mugato Polstars that we swear we removed in the trade audit. By selecting an order, you'll be prompted with dozens of unsolicited fleet requests and harassing direct messages, which may or may not disappear from the in-game chat. However, thanks to our cutting-edge Herogen network technology, you can now remotely electrocute other players who try to bid against you, including selecting the voltage that you'd like to shock them with across the Polcoin network. You can filter the contents on a variety of Polcoin categories that will enable you to target certain items. When an item has an available listing, press the Buy Now button to have your account immediately suspended for 3 business days. Under the My Transactions tab, you'll see a complete listing of your previous credit card purchases to remind you of all the good times you had pulling packs for Polywater Yar, EDF Adira, and many more. We're excited to offer you this ground floor opportunity for the totally legit Polcoin. If you have any questions, comments have been disabled for this video.
There you have it. Just trying not to crack up. I think they posted that video, and I was like, "Oh no, we have to do something here."
Thank you to new WRG employee Ronan Candleman for that,
Yeah.
and his ghostly hand floating.
He doesn't look
Actually,
well, does he? He needs to see a doctor
I
about
felt
that hand.
I felt real bad doing that video because actually it is a cool new feature, and WRG Fury, who joined us on the the charity stream, did the narration for that, so that was cool to see.
You know what I love is the fact that people are going to see that are going to be like, still WRG shills.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, we do throw softballs, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
It's good for a tease. But yes, the market is open. Shout out to all the people that put up their common and human Starfleet polls for 100 ISM. Thank you very much. I had a very profitable day. I think I made about 70,000 ISM just from that. So that was quite good. So thank you for that. And the early wild days, I think things are starting to settle down a bit.
That totally wasn't a mistake or a tactical misjudgment. That was just the milk of human kindness and generosity.
Yeah.
No
not
one
about
would
money,
ever,
sending the message.
dismantle their Polstars accidentally,
No.
or list them for far less than they're worth, or forget that you can dispel them. No one would do that. No one could possibly do that.
So let me we'll go through we'll just have a look at a few things, because there's a few things I noticed that I've had to send a ticket in for. Let me just go live, grant access. Oh yes, go on.
Yeah, so sarcasm aside, if you guys are just coming in from work or whatever and you haven't read through the communiques they sent out, you can now turn your Polstars directly into 800 ISM.
Yes, 800.
So
So sell lower.
Yeah, so go to your inventory and there's a little cancel button you can use. And so,
Ooh, I've got
yeah,
some orders. Got some orders. in.
sell Polstars for less.
What have I got? Oh, 10 Federation Polstars for 701. Oh, I got the inspiring one I wanted for 1,000. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I'm quite glad someone claimed those. You were one claimed inspiring Polstar. Look at that. And 10 Federation Polstars for cheaper than what I'm going to now wreck them for. What? I'm playing the market. What?
You're gonna get banned again.
Yeah, I am. So yeah, here's the one thing I noticed. For everyone looking at the screen, this is a bit of a danger trap, and I've accidentally airlocked a couple of Polstars that I didn't want to. So up here, I did have an astrophysicist and an ambassador Polstar. When you're on here and you say, I want to dump one of my 43 Starfleet Polstars, and you go, haha, dismiss, 800 ISM, wonderful. Watch out, because this resets back to the beginning of the queue. So if you're instinctively just kind of going, get rid of, you might end up losing some of your Polstars you want to keep. So I accidentally lost Ambassador and the other one I mentioned. So I've got a ticket in for that. But if you say search for Starfleet, it'll turn up there, and then when you dismiss, it'll stay on Starfleet, so you can happily do that without doing it. So that's just like a little tip for those people who just want to, doing like I am, buying buying low and selling for whatever people are trashing for.
It's true because as soon as that hit, people were listing stuff for like 25 ISM or whatever. We were buying them and we were dematerializing them, and we're in chat together. We were like, dude, we're gonna get banned for sure because we were making like a lot of ISM from people that didn't know. But I mean, they put out 3 or 4 communiques about this. So if you didn't do your homework and you listed it for cheap, well, I guess you won't make that mistake.
Look here, look, I've got 4 pole stars, 2 for 100, 2 for 150, and that was just instant profit. That's just okay, profit ISM, but that's definitely a stepping stone for, like, you know, getting the poles I want. And I think I did order a couple that I wanted for quite cheap. There is one I want, which is Mintaken, which I'm probably sure is far too expensive for what I want. Oh no, hang on, I can't spell Mintaken.
Hey, yeah, it's with an A. Yeah.
10,000? 10,000? That's cheaper than 50,000. What do we reckon? 10,000 for Mintaken?
That's relatively cheap. That's fine.
I might grab that.
There's only 2 crew with it. Like, I think that's a pretty exclusive
grab
one.
that. 10,000. That's mine. I made someone very happy. I'll have that. That's not bad. Yeah, and the next one's at 19.99. Lovely. Yeah. Just a note on.
I did see a Dr. Soong's constellation listed for 69,0. So
nice.
congratulations to that person.
Let's see if that's still in there.
I hope you get that. Oh, let's see. Yeah.
Just a note for anyone that has. Oh, nice. 69.69. Nice. Skycap just put a shout out in. Shout out to the art department for the Polestar icons. They are so good. They are really good. I think they're probably some of the best kind of art, stylized art they've done for this game.
In true Star Trek fashion, a whole bunch of them are just the weird alien faces of the race because there's nothing identifiable about them. So it's like a nose ridge or spots or something, and that's the Polestar, which you can't blame them for.
No. Just a note for anyone who has accidentally dismissed a Polestar, you can ticket CS and get them back. The thing they said they don't want people to ticket for is if you you buy something here for 8,000, that's an actual transaction. They'll say no, you can't ticket that one because you kind of agree to that. You idiot.
You fool!
You fool!
What? Why didn't you have the lobes to recognize that was a bad idea?
Oh look, what's hot? Human Federation Polestar is very hot right now. I wonder why.
4,000 sold in the past 24 hours. Jesus Christ.
We've got a shout out from Especially the Lies. Shout out for Skycap for finally retrieving that Shinzon. Finally, after all this time.
Yeah, no. So that is the thing. Is like we can then talk about our pole stonks until we're blue in the face because it is quite hilarious and quite fun. But this is quite possibly one of the best quality of life things I can think of in terms of I want this crew. I cannot get this crew. Now I can get this crew because I have been trying to get a hold of Narek specifically for ages because A, I like the character, and B, that Romulan seat on Voyagers is fucking annoying. So all I had to do was go on the marketplace and buy a few Rakal Troy constellations for about 3,000 ISM. Instead of directly buying a Romulan one for about 20, I think it was like 10,000 at the time. Discovered it, Romulan. And I even got Tal Shiar off the other one. So please do keep this in mind. If you want to try and avoid paying 30 grand for a pole, you can just sidestep it and buy all the constellations, because when you search for a trait, it will give you all the adjacent constellations as well as just the pole. Yeah. So you can save money that way. If you're also inclined and are not heaving with ISM like Auto, who I think has something in the range of 1 million.
Quick shout out.
We need that as a trigger too.
Shout out for Genis for selling me his Bars and Polestar to me, my only white whale in the portal who I do not have yet. There is a kind of way you can sort of almost trade Polestars. I think if you list lower and then they've got the order in, they can instantly kind of get it. And there's a little bit of finesse there. It's risky, but it is perfectly doable.
By the way, I don't want to brush past that Skycap shout out because she was on the charity stream and did 100 random pulls. That is a lot of honor to throw into the wind on completely. They weren't beholds; they were just random pulls trying to get the shins on. I think at one point she was ready to buy it from the faction store. That's how desperate she was.
That's risky. Don't do that.
So
that's rough.
This is quite an achievement for her. So. Bajoran claps all around.
I've got to ask, chat, what is your most wanted Polestar, and how much ISM would you be prepared to pay for it? Like, what's... Because I was looking at Mintarkin, because I want it for Mintarkin Riker, he's survivalist, he's Vulcan, all sorts of things. So, like, 10,000 was quite a nice... That was a nice metric, better than the 50,000 I saw before. But, you know, what chat, tell us what your kind of limits are for buying, say, if you want the crafty Polestar, what would you like, you know?
I actually did.
601 ISM? That can't be right.
What's that?
Buy those, sell them.
Where? What was 101?
Crafty, 601.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 601,
Buy that
yeah.
up.
Oh, there we go. 300. Oh, 3,000. Ooh. Gotta watch it. It changes.
Yeah,
it does change.
Snapped up that offer.
When you click on one of the offers, the little price in the lower left can refresh on its own without you hitting that refresh button.
Engineered 4600, but actually it's 11,950, whereas if I refresh, and then, oh no, it sticks there. That's interesting.
Well, to be fair, I imagine this is getting hammered right now, so a little bit of a refresh rate problem is not the highest.
What's the highest? Judge Q at 300,000 is the top.
Mate, are you fucking for real?
And Auto can get 3 of them.
Okay, so I have to say, I saw something that kind of baffled me, and I have to wonder if they did it as a joke or because they don't realize how constellations work. I saw someone listing the Mycelio Culber, in fact, you might be able to see it here, Mycelio Culber, the constellation for 55k ISM.
It's still
that one. Inspect it for me, please.
Yeah.
Human, Physician, Romantic, Federation, Starfleet, Desperate.
You could get all of those Polestars twice for 55,000.
There is someone out there that thinks they are selling Mycelio Culber, don't they?
and keep in mind, look at that, 4 sold in the past 24 hours. So they're not all going to be 55k. I'm sure someone was selling them for like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. 3,000 seems to be sort of like the lower end for a constellation, like I considered a bad one.
It's quite a lot,
like,
actually.
People are buying bad ones.
But you know,
if there's a relatively easy ones to grab, like good ones.
If you're going 19 days between retrievals and you're in a fleet who gives you 1,000 or even 800 sim a day, that's enough. You can afford to pay 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 per Polestar, and you're not operating at a loss. You're just targeting the crew that you want even more precisely.
Mugato for 2,500. 25,000, sorry.
My highest sale today was actually 69,690. So people are actually paying really high prices if it's a very rare Polestar. So
that's amazing.
I've been having a lot of fun just going through all the constellations from like low to high and just buying up all the ones that are halfway decent, rolling them and seeing what I get. I've gotten some decent stuff. Like I got like Tal Shiar and Romulan, and I think I got 2 diplomats randomly.
Tosk?
Uhura.
There's Tosk there for... Actually, that's not a bad one.
Tosk is actually a decent one. Buy that.
Yeah, fucking because that's got some good ones. Let's open that as well while we're here.
That's the thing. Anything that doesn't have human Starfleet Federation is worthwhile, because even if you get Tosk, someone will buy that off you. Yeah, okay. So go and see how much it costs to sell that.
Went perfectly. All right. Let's
pre-recorded.
Fucking brilliant.
It's all rigged. Let's see how much you can sell that for. Let's see how you can flip that.
Right, sell now. I can flip it for
the cheapest Tosk
750, the current highest order.
Hold on to that. I bet you buy all the Tosk stars and then create a scarcity.
All right, let's see how much all the Tosk stars are there.
So if you're looking to buy Polestar, don't just go there and buy the cheapest one available. It will often behoove you to set up your own buy order at a lower price, and then when someone wants to sell theirs and they just do the quick sell or whatever, it will default to you if you have the best price. So it's almost never the best choice to just buy the
buy now for 15,000. So I don't know what that 750 one was for.
Yeah, I don't know what
maybe that one got snapped up instantly.
Holy shit! Well, let's list. I own for one. I can list for sale. Maybe that's just recommended. So what's the lowest?
Default sale is set to 750. So someone literally just went but and didn't even look.
Let's go 14,999. Let's undercut. What is with me and my luck on this stream? Because not only do I get Vargas and a fucking random retrieval, I get Tosk from a Tosk Polestar. Like
idle. How much ISM do I have to pay you to buy a Vargas constellation and see what you get?
Let's see if I got one.
It doesn't have the Vargas
10,000.
Polestar. He's not a Pokemon. He has like normal Polestars, you know?
Let's have a look.
Yeah. Well, that was my point, broadly speaking, about that mycelial Kolber constellation is. Don't think the constellations somehow guarantee you the crew. It is just the traits that are constituent to them. So if you see a constellation that is bad, and they are often bad because there's a lot of bad trait crew out there, don't bother. Just go for something nice. Like even like something like the UFP president has like cultural figure and politician and diplomat and erosion. So it's like there's some good stuff in there. But I saw like GI Chakotay. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. The risk on that is not worth it.
Did you just say erosion is good stuff?
Guess what? If someone has a 4 out of 5 UFP, you need it.
That's true. That's true. You don't need any other pole stars with that.
There's no Frasier constellations.
There you go. There's not a single one. You could flip that. You could flip that bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so Idle's Price is Right bid of $14,999 leads me to something our buddy Big McLarge Huge pointed out. He said, "I am so glad that this is all anonymous. There are no IDs tied to this."
Yes.
And so I want to ask you guys about that. I want to ask Chad about this. Is that a good thing, or would you like to see IDs? Because on one hand, you know, you're gonna get shit from people who are like, "Stop undercutting me, you're not playing fair," blah blah blah. But there are people who would message you and try to barter and say, "Hey, I really want this. Can you sell it for $1,000 less?" Blah blah blah. And you can make friends that way. You can have a fun conversation that way. And I've seen that a lot in other games. People always want the most efficient sales, but sometimes it's nice to interact with other people. So where do you guys stand on that?
I think that I do. Now that you say it, I think that would be a neat feature. What I think would be cool is if they added an iterative feature for this, where instead of buy now, sell, inspect, or whatever, there was a second one that said haggle. And the instant you did that, it would open up a DM to that player, and you'd be like, "Hey, I want to buy this for this. How much would you be willing to sell it for me for this much? I really want this character. You can make your case." I think having a haggle button would be fun.
Yeah.
And like if you plaster it with like a big quark art and some rules of acquisition, I think that could be nice in the spirit of things. In fact, we do have to talk about the fact that this is called the Celestial Market, despite the fact that it should be the Great Material Consortium.
Oh, so should.
You know,
it needs more of a Ferengi twinge to it.
Yeah, because it is just
someone selling Buck Buckeye for 68866. Was that like his shirt number or something? I'd be impressed with that. That is a random number.
And they may butt dialed that one. They had the phone in the pocket and accidentally listed it.
Not my Buck Buckeye.
Chad is very much
against for nearly 20k. Really?
Chad is very much against identities being known for that. I think if it was an opt-in feature, you could check a little box, say, "I don't mind if people know who I am." Then
we could have a Timelines Talk store. How about that? Look at that. We're selling only the hottest pole stars for a premium price. These are like the NFTs of pole stars.
Oh, don't even bring that poison to this conversation. How dare you?
I know, I'm so sorry. I feel dirty. So, yeah. And you can see your transactions and your orders. I'm in the order for some human and pole stars.
Worthless gold.
There you go.
Need to remember that that's an option.
If anyone's interested, I'm selling my Romatis 3 native Polestar for 2,500. I actually sold my Zindi one for that price.
I think you're really fucking optimistic there, friend.
This was
Reva's a diplomat, you know?
He is a
That's
diplomat.
A good card.
You never know. Someone might want it. Who else has
he's
got?
He's a 4-star. I
think
think he's in the portal as well.
So keep in mind that you can only list 10 buy orders and 10 sell orders, and they have a 30-day duration. So if you max out your 10 orders and you can't list anything else, it might be worth it to pull some of them down and relist at a better price, so you get a little movement.
What else can we show off? What stupid things can we do here? Anything else?
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. So, are there any like white whales that are now within reach because of so? I've talked about Narek. There's a few other ones that I can. I managed to get my first Klingon Polestar, which I'm astounded by. I actually managed to get one. So, are there any like white whales for you guys that have now come in within reach?
I did get. I mean, early days, I managed to get Pandronian for. He's not a white whale, but I do need the 5th star, and I got the Pandronian Polestar for something cheap, like 2,000 ISM, which I was really happy about. So that's kind of was my win. That's my happy win for the day. That I've got in on that before everyone else has cornered it. I don't know if there's any other Pandronians on at the moment. It's quite a rare one. So yeah, I can now craft my 5th star, and that's my diplomat done. I don't need to cite him. So fantastic.
Yeah, I'm actually holding on to my Pandronian one just to see if the value will go up. I'm doing my whole speculator bullshit.
Yeah.
I think pretty much every crew now is within reach, as long as you have maybe a little patience, maybe a little play in the market to get the ones that you want.
Yeah.
I saw someone on Reddit who said, I'm not going to touch it for a month and just see how it shakes out. Well, I mean, you can do that and prices will settle, but you might also be robbing yourself of a chance to make a little profit, maybe get snag a cheap Polestar. I mean, it never hurts. You have 10 buy offers or buy orders that you can use anyway. You may as well
absolutely
target a few Polestars or constellations you want. Just set it really cheap, and if it doesn't happen, you haven't lost anything.
And let's not forget, ISM is fucking worthless. You get 30k of it just for doing any kind of good in an event. You get like 30k cash injection.
No, grab that. Sorry, I'm addicted to buying Starfleet Polestars at like under 800 now. This is like my evening. This is what I do.
Idle is so far gone at this point. It's like window shopping.
Me screaming about how useless and like worthless ISM is. Him, I could make a 10% profit.
Look at this. Look, this is a good day. I'm gonna make a few hundred here. Fuck me. Sorry, I got to take advantage of this.
So I do actually have a theory, by the way, as to why people might be selling these so low.
Go on.
Maybe it's a case of, hey, I have like 40 Starfleet Polestars because I have really bad luck, right? And I cannot be bothered to click through every single one.
It is a pain.
So I will sell them for a lower price so that some other poor fucker can sit there and just hit dispel, you know?
I mean,
And you know, as someone who dematerialized about 400 of those suckers earlier today, I really wanted a multiple button option, but the more I thought about it, you know, markets like this have to have some kind of friction. If someone can turn around and flip it in seconds, you know, you're basically competing against bots at that point. I like the fact that it does take 10, 20 minutes to go through and dematerialize. I mean, it's not for everyone, but if you want to do that honest ISM farming and make a few thousand or 10,000 here and there, then that's an option without people cornering the market immediately.
Essentially, yeah. This is kind of the game within the game. I know a lot of people sort of complain that, they need to add real features to this game, and yeah, you know, absolutely right. You need to see some more gameplay, but this is kind of fun. It's kind of speaks to me a little bit.
Well, there's a really heavily interactive element to this that, like, a lot of the game is kind of missing. Like, I think outside of actual fleet, outside of like the, you know, like maybe the universe chat in game, what is your actual next most direct interaction with another player apart from this? Like, this is, you are actually buying from another player who is selling this and has set this price. To a degree, that kind of context is kind of almost unprecedented in the game. I can kind of see why people are going nuts for it, because it's like, it's so much more volatile than anything the WRG has put out, because they have no control over, they have no desire to control what things are going for.
So SSR's Evans of Wales in chat makes a good point. People can put in big buy orders for 500 and then sell them again, flip them for 790. And that way, you know, you're sacrificing a little bit of profit, and then you don't have to sit there and open up 500 of them. People will buy it and do it for you. So.
Skim those margins. It's true.
There's a lot. I mean, this is the Ferengi market. You know, there's a lot of different angles you can come at this and make a little bit of profit or a lot of profit.
Scan for 3,000.
But yeah, like, that's actually a decent price. Scanfor's not a bad one. Gorn, really?
Gorn for 3,000.
You know, if this segment goes on for too long, you're going to be completely spent on ISM.
There is kind of a addictive element to it, isn't it? Where you're like, ooh, that's a good deal. Like, I managed to climb down from 70k ISM down to like 10 just like I'm buying constellations and rolling them because it's fun getting rare ones. Like, I don't know. It is actually genuinely a bit addictive.
I was sat at work today, and it's kind of like, you know, I think it's launched at about 3 o'clock my time, and I was leaving in about half an hour, and I was like, all right, I've got half an hour to check out the Celestial Market, and that's when it was the heyday, when everything was going like 100 ISM, and I was like sitting there going buy stuff, and I was looking at the clock going, I should really drive home soon, but I want to kind of get advantage of all these deals so I can get much ISM. ISM is worthless. It's not mean anything, but
yes, it's for the children. I'm a role model.
I'm going to regret giving you guys that, aren't I?
You talking about your crippling market addiction. I'm a role model.
I'm going to come back next week. I'm going to have 5 phones and a ticker tape behind me.
All right, let's move on before you spend your whole ISM cash.
I'll come back to that. No, I'll give it away. I'll give it away.
There might be something to that.
That's fun. I don't know.
Sure
I
we'll
don't mind different
flip
things.
Back around to it in the future.
Stop streaming. Stop streaming. There we go. That's the one. Here we go. Okay.
The stream goes down.
And everything. We're talking to ourselves in the void. Let me just adjust us on the screen.
What else is new?
What else is new? Not a lot, really. No, there's a fair amount going on. Let me just have a quick look at the show notes because I've forgotten what we're talking about and where we are.
We prep notes ahead of time to prevent this.
We do. Well, I have many windows open. Right. So this is all part of 8.1, which is the new version update, which has made a few people a little bit conflicted, really, because we now have more menus, more clicks. I know quite a few people are upset by the manifest and having another click to get to your crew quarters, and now we have another. I never thought I'd see people complaining that you have another click to get to the point where you have to spend money. But yeah, I can see why it is a little bit annoying. You go to the time portal, there's now a button that goes to faction centers. But it's, the new faction center's quite nice, although I think like some, I am lamenting the loss of flying to places. I kind of like that, although it is nice to conveniently just go and buy my transmissions wherever I am.
I kind of think that they could fix that by just giving you a warp to random location thing. That could be fun. But I think Ben mentioned that if there's no price margin in it for it, then there's no real impetus
charge you
to do
10
it.
dilithium to take control of your ship and fly to a random sector.
Well, he was talking about the screensaver, wasn't he? He wanted to set it up.
Him to get it back.
Actually, it's not only for spenders though, because the time portal you go if you want to buy citations, if you want to open up credit packs, if you want to open up your boost packs, VIP 0 players especially really need those ship schematics from Dabo Wheel. So that's another one of those things, just like the crew manifest they changed, where I would go to the time portal several times a day, but the faction center I might only go once a week. So that extra tap is like, when they cleared out the menu in the upper right, there's still 3 or 4 or 5 empty spaces depending on which platform you're playing on. They could have put some of that up there and left the time portal alone. It seems like they want to keep doing this and add menu navigation as one of the strengths, the selling points of this game. So it is what it is. I wish they'd change that, and I agree with Idle. I liked going to faction centers. I don't mind it taking 5-10 seconds to load if I get to see another, because they actually did a really killer job for a game that is 6 years old now, especially when it first launched, but it still holds up pretty well. All the different systems you can go to in the art and planet art and stuff. So I like to zoom around and see what's going on, and I'm not going to do that as much with instant warping.
Yeah. You tend not to think about it unless you manually run a mission just to change your bridge crew lineup, really, do you? That's the only way you sort of look at the ship battle screen, is you go to a location that is a ship battle and change your bridge lineup. But, yeah. Shout out from Seven. Timelines Talks is amazing. Thank you, Seven.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Sell out.
Didn't pay her to say that. No, not at all. No, she used our channel point system.
Shut up, Otto, you moron!
See, I did not. That was not me. You did that to yourself.
Now we can set you up for all kinds of bullshit.
Yeah. Actually, Evans.
Make you look like you're talking to yourself.
Evans raises a good point. I think in the demo that Ben showed, the LTOs and the offers were supposed to be above the market, but they're still in the top left. So maybe they've not rolled that one forward yet. Maybe that's why there was a delay. I don't know.
Possibly.
So, I mean, of all the features I don't care about, that is one of them. It's like I don't care where the offer is.
It's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, true.
Like when they have 5 offers up, and then if you pull a legendary crew, you also have the double your crew thing pop up too. It's so freaking annoying.
Yeah.
I'm just Xing out of them. You can only X out 2 at a time, so you go to do something else, it pops up, it breaks their UI. It's like, all right, that's getting a little bit embarrassing at that point.
You have to scroll through them first, don't you? You just have to go, right, tap, 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 close, done. Right, now play the game.
Yeah, but that the ads are bugged for a lot of people where you have to restart the client after every ad. And so when you do that, you also get 5-6 more pop. So it's getting a little bloated there, if you ask me. They got to make money, so it is what it is.
Still can't avoid the second event pop-up. No, yeah, that's another pop-up. You get the event, and then about 3 minutes later, you get the second event where the art is broken at the moment. It's like, yes, you can enjoy this new crew up. We can't even see it. We can't see Captain Bateson's wonderful face. I keep calling him Braxton. I don't know why. I think he's the card I want Braxton to be.
They're so similar in power level. It's easy to mix them up.
This sounds like a good moment to talk about in the next event, shall we? That's a wonderful segue. I'm just shocked at myself for that one. Let's.
Yes, stars.
Right, let's start.
Do you disagree with something that was said?
feel like I'm high.
Welcome to our world. Okay. Coming up we'll get to this week's event in a minute, but next week the event has a rerun, which is another rerun of Captain's Oath, with a little bit of a twist to it. This is Captain's Oath 3, where at 400k you can get the wonderful Frasier himself, and I think we do need to hear it from his own words, so hang on.
Sound of that. Now, I think I should still run against you. Why? Well, if I drop out just as you announce your candidacy, people might suspect something's up. It's better that our political legerdemain remain sub rosa. Sub rosa. Sub rosa. Sub rosa.
You believe what you want, lass. Just dinna light that candle.
Lorna, stop this. Stop this, please.
Beverly, it's all right. Have trust in me.
How would a normal person say that, Dad?
I did fall asleep reading a particularly erotic chapter in my grandmother's journal.
This is gonna be sweet.
Yeah, I just had to play that again because we've got Frasier in the episode.
I'm like, bit. Stars, you still think you're high? He's like, more than ever.
I feel like I'm progressing slowly towards brain death. I think this is what Spock felt like inside the radiation chamber in the Enterprise.
So a normal episode then.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. So we do have, if you can rank at 400k in the next event, next week's event, you can get yourself a wonderful Captain Morgan Bateson. I have put off this guy. I love Frasier. I love, what's his name? You guys are going to crucify me.
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer, that's the one, thank you. I love that guy whose name I cannot remember.
Also, would it break your heart if I told you that I actually knew Kelsey Grammer more from his role in X-Men 3 than from Frasier?
No, I know you're an X-Men guy. That's okay. But you love Beast though, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the correlation. Yeah.
And what a beast this guy isn't.
I forgot we used to do segues on this show, didn't we?
We did when we were organised.
Yep. Don't forget the beer.
So we've gone a little bit like stat light, and I felt like that's a good direction for the show to take because we want to have more fun. But let's just take a moment to like really ruminate in this man and his magnificence. Command rank 73.
Cool.
Voyage rank 320.
Can I pause you there? Did we miss the moment where he was command rank 69?
Yeah, I must have done
mere weeks ago.
That was probably three crew ago.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget to buy your casual pole star if you want to add stars to him after this event, because he's Human Federation, Starfleet, and casual. Oh, yeah. That's all you got.
That casual event. Awaiting the casual election. Walt Koenig asks, because there are other crew on this, I think it's Sulu and Harriman that are bonus, and Walt Koenig asks, is your Harriman still unfrozen idle? And I repeat, to respond to that, I say no, it's just the way I'm sitting. Please carry on.
Oh my God. Now we're both high stars.
I have been and always will be your friend.
Former Olay faction event winner, this Cisco One, points out that I was going to call him Morgan Bateson. What's his damn name? Kelsey Grammer will be at Star Trek Las Vegas. So if any of you guys are big convention fans, I guess he'll be there. I don't know when the next one is. Let me find out while you guys vamp.
There is a Star Trek convention in London coming soon in November, assuming that we don't shut down again, which, on the ropes.
Okay, so I have a question. Is Captain's Oath the single worst event in terms of reward crew?
It's pretty bad.
Because I'm thinking about it. Silver LaForge, Harriman, Captain Sulu himself, and then I know Saru is the bonus for the thing, but he is event crew for this. It's like, this is a really poor crop of crew to be using for this.
It's pretty trash.
That's why they've had to change the pool of crew. That, and they're also like too lazy to list all the captains in the game again.
So yeah, this is the one difference. I think when the Captain's Oath was run first time, they had a pool of just captains that were bonuses, and it wasn't a trait thing. And then the second time they ran it, they expanded that to a few more captains. And this time, now they've just kind of gone, no, never mind. Inspiring and explorers, that's pretty much a captain. Which, fine. I understand.
Well, yeah, I think the reason they
are
did...
worthless now.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason was because they managed to miss Sulu in his own event, and they were like, well, that's really
And
embarrassing.
Silver wasn't a bonus either, was she?
Yeah,
at the time,
it's
that
like,
was
guys,
before, yeah.
please.
So a convention update. Star Trek Las Vegas will now take place August 11th through the 15th this year at the Rio All Suites Resort Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas.
Have I got Explorers to use? Yes, I do have Explorers to use, Evans. Thank you very much. I have one very good 5 out of 5 Explorer.
So if you won Civil LaForge in this previously, she is not full bonus crew, but her one lifeline, which I actually wish they didn't give her because it gives me hope to hang on to her, is the Explorer trait. So she will get a small bonus in this event. Might make shuttles if you have her 5 of 5 and no other crew on your roster.
Because no one has tons of inspiring and Explorer crew. No one possibly has
Explorer's
that.
a bit more refined, though, isn't it? Or am I?
Well, it's a ton of Enterprise and Discovery crew and a good few TOS crew as well. So it's not a small pool by any measure.
And attention.
There are 75 Explorers in
Okay,
game.
that's actually quite a large pool. That's more
That's enough for a mega. That's enough for a mega.
Inspiring is massive, isn't it? We know how big that one is.
Yeah.
So yeah, big pool.
So the crew that you would get from the upcoming event, the Biological Imperatives, I think it's called, the one with Paxton as the bonus, you would get yourself a Captain Saru, who is kinda pants. Which is a shame because that was a big moment for Saru, and I'm always kind of sad when a big moment for a character is reduced to a kind of shitty card.
Captain Saru consults his first officer Tilly for recommendations on pithy catchphrases. I like that one.
This is
That's a good one, actually.
Flavor text.
It's a good moment. There's that moment where he's on Sports Disco season 3. There's a moment he's on the bridge and he's trying out catchphrases because obviously every captain has their catchphrase to engage or punch it or whatever, and he's sitting there going, what is it? He says he's like execute.
Execute is the one he settles on, I think. Yeah.
And everyone sort of looks around the bridge and just kind of goes, no.
It's not vibing for you, my guy.
Yeah.
So he's a decent command base on the two
What do you think Night Shift Harry Kim's make it so? Because there's
probably
him
just
and one
do on his clarinet.
There's him and one terrified ensign at the con, and he's the only person that gets to order around. So he must have practiced a catchphrase. Chat, what was Night Shift Harry's catchphrase when he was commanding Voyager while everyone else was asleep?
I
must know this.
I'm not actually Harry Kim. I'm just a suspiciously similar substitute wearing his skin suit.
Was that a segue?
A good segue.
That was a segue. You're very welcome.
We'll come back. Anything redeemable about Captain Saru? I mean, this is kind of the Captain Bateson when he launched kind of rank. Really, he was. I think he was floating around this sort of stage as sort of another command sort of dip crew with, a couple of collections. Inspiring is huge if you want him for that, but do you really want to add stars to him? It's a Saru.
Well, he is an exobiologist, so that is useful in its way because there are a lot of bad exobiologists out there. I don't know who probably. I'm sure there's someone out there who wants to star up the keeper, but even as someone who loves the keeper, it's probably a bad proposition at this point. The main reason I think people would want to grab him is because if you look at every Saru we have, I am pretty sure this one is the only command primary one. Every other one is either diplomacy or science.
Oh, really? Not even.
You've got Away Team Saru.
Yeah, I was going to say Away Team Saru was the one I was just going to say.
Away Team Saru, I'm pretty sure, is science primary because he's SciSec. I'm pretty sure. So if you want to corner the market on number one command base for Saru, this is kind of your shot to do it. And he does get enough events that you can do it. It's I'm going to be going for him just because I want all the Sarus, because I like Saru as a character, and being able to chart his progress through cards is a fun thing, but this is not a card I'm going to be citing up very soon.
No. Shout out to DF Cole, who didn't buy shout out, but shout out anyway. He's found the perfect phrase for Harry Kim as he stands on the bridge of Voyager and he's about to execute the warp jump, and he says to the con officer, "Promote me."
And over the intercom, you just hear Janeway saying,
"Belay that order, Mr. Con." Mr. Con.
I can just see Chakotay standing behind him, and Harry doesn't realize it, and he's practicing his walk, and he's like tugging on his uniform, and he says, "Promote me," and Chakotay just
yeah,
he does the slow turn.
No, Janeway just walks onto the bridge and she's like, "It's not crunch time yet, Mr. Kim."
Riddle up. Belay that order, Mr. Kim.
All right.
In fact, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of one of my favorite bits of dialogue in DS9 between Nog and O'Brien, where Nog is asking in what circumstances someone would call him Sir because he is technically an officer, and then O'Brien points out that Sir, by the time that anyone else was around, that you would be the senior officers, they'd all be dead. It's one of my favorite O'Brien moments.
That's good.
Let's move on to Harry Kim himself, since we're speaking about him too much. Harry and Molly. This should be a dual fusion card, really, because this is Molly O'Brien. No, not Molly O'Brien. The other one.
No, it's not.
No, sorry,
What
I'm getting confused with Midwolf.
What is wrong with you?
Shut up.
Naomi Wildman.
Naomi Wildman.
You,
Fake fan.
Babies all look alike. Come on. The other one.
You even
I'll
put
give you
in
that
the
one,
poll. You put in the poll for the title of this episode. Where did you put it?
I don't know.
Something wild man. I guess you didn't pick that one.
No, that
now
wasn't
we gotta
me.
find it and shout him out. Damn it! I don't even pay attention to our own. I gotta find this.
We have a
Vamp,
Discord?
damn it!
Yeah.
Evans of Wales, Naomi and a wild.
There you go.
There's not very much that's wild about Harry Kim, unfortunately.
Here's a survivalist, and it's a 404 survivalist, so that's piqued my interest, because you're going to get his fourth copy free from the excuse me, Galaxy part of the hybrid.
After the original Voyagers, Kim is killed in a battle with a Vidian. An alternate Voyager sends their own Kim, with Naomi Wildman in hand. The only thing I really remember about this episode is Tim Russ using proper grammar when he's talking about Ensign Kim, but he's not sure which one. So he says Ensign Kim, or rather one of the Ensigns Kim instead of Ensign Kim's. That was the highlight of the episode for me. I don't know.
I think this was quite a good episode, if I remember rightly, because this is the one where there's two
It's all right.
Voyagers.
It's pretty
isn't there?
decent.
There's
Yeah.
Deadlock, is it? Deadlock, yeah. It's the one with the two
Deadlock,
Voyagers
yeah.
and one's exploded. I can't remember it's been a long time since I watched it, but I remember it was a good one. And I think the scene is where the Doctor's handing Naomi over to Kim, and he's going to run off to the other Enterprise to save the Voyager to save them both. It's Midwolf. Midwolf is confusing me because this is the exact same card as Midwolf.
Have you even drunk anything yet?
No,
Maybe that's the problem.
This is me stone cold sober. I'm not drinking.
That's the
tonight.
problem.
I'm tired.
So the issue is I've been fiddling around with a called Valkyrie account, which is a set of, because we don't have enough challenge in this game. We have to make up our own rules. So I thought it'd be cool, and I think some other people already do this on their account. So this is not an original thing, but a Valkyrie account, meaning you can only use female crew, which I think right now in the game 2/3 of them are male or female. So that really limits your pool. I mean, if you think about it, you can't use Balok or Kalis or Locutus or Armus in the Gauntlet. That sort of limits your options. It helps you appreciate the crew that you. So we were talking about this, Kim, and Midwife Worf. Since they're holding a small female, does that count as a female crew you can use in the game?
I think you ended up coming up with the rule that if they have a female component, which I thought was a nice way of describing a baby.
If in the scene they are looking at another female, they count as a female. No.
Man.
I think we can.
I
don't think this counts. I think you have to be. The main meat of the card is Harry.
Oh God! Why did you use that description?
I don't know.
To be fair, I was actually thinking about this. So, the other Harry dies, right? I can't remember how he dies. Does he get picked off by one of the Vidians?
Possibly, yeah. I can't remember.
Does that mean that Harry is waltzing around in the Alpha Quadrant after the Voyager gets home, and there is some poor Vidian that has his brain matter just fused with Harry Kim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was an ugly bag of mostly organs. That was his contribution to the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
That and the psychic six vampires, yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Actually,
That's
I haven't even
Trevesian
looked
Kim,
at
isn't
this.
it?
That was Trevesian Kim, yeah.
Oh God.
So I should share, by the way, I had the honor of introducing yet another friend of mine to Star Trek, because this is always such a fun thing.
Doing God's work.
Yeah, pretty much, because they sent me a little screenshot basically saying like I'm seeing why people wouldn't get into this, but I'm really loving it. And they were watching Measure of a Man and getting really into it because guess what? When that's your first Star Trek, that really gets you in. And they said, I'm sure this is like intentional that you've only shown me good episodes yet, and I'm sure that the general quality of episodes is like relatively low. And I'm like, I have no idea.
Code of honor, let's go.
Yeah, and I'm almost tempted to tell them just don't do the watch from beginning to end. Not always.
What was it? I was on Twitter and I was looking. There's quite a lot of sort of Trek work on Twitter going on, and there was someone talking saying Code of Honor, great episode. Let's talk about it. And I just responded, do we have to? It's like, really? I think someone was trying to sort of gun up hype for their own channel, but just picked up the wrong episode.
We are once again put to shame by our chat, who are true Trek fans. They know that Harry got blown out. No, what is it? Sucked out. Correction, sir. Blown out into the hull breach. So
apparently, in Star Trek Online, the other Harry Kim was found by the Kabali and turned into one of them. There you go.
I thought we didn't talk about fan fiction on this show.
No. Well, there was one point it wasn't fan fiction, but there you go. That ship has sailed.
Wait, does he end up in a relationship with what's her name? The other Kabali?
Lindsay Ballard.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like they would have to.
See, I'm not a fake fan. I remember that bitch's name.
This is the thing with any. This is the thing with like any Star Trek book or. You're right there.
No.
What have I done to earn your disrespect?
That's what she would be saying.
She's a lovely young lady. Okay. Jet Lio.
She's wearing a. I'm sorry, but that race is creepy. I'm pretty sure that like Star Trek Online thread ended up having them fight against the Vard War, like the Dragon's Teeth aliens, because they found them so creepy and were like, "Stop touching our corpses! Stop it! That is my grandfather's body you're stealing!" And they're like, "No,
you're not using
must
it.
reproduce." So you know what? Lindsay Ballard can suck it.
Well, apparently she probably did.
All right, this show's going off the rails.
Yeah.
What's next in the...
Well, I think, let's get it back on track. We need to give a shout out to the newest of the 12-hour voyagers, to this is SSR's day, really, isn't it? SSR Morden has got a 12-hour and 10-second voyage and scores number 7 on our leaderboard of 12-hour voyagers. So we now have 7 people on there. Sorry, you're at the bottom, but you are still remarkable achievement. But it's still good to get 12 hours. If anyone has got a 12-hour voyage, send me your details. I'll put you on our leaderboard, which you can get onto the Discord. And where is the Discord? Just type Discord in the chat, and you'll get there. And I'll do that now for you. Look at that. I'm going to be generous, and you can come
and you'll get a warm, fuzzy feeling sent directly to you.
You will. What's next? Should we talk?
I want to ask our chat. What's your guys' best voyage?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm afraid I've made so many alts, like I've never actually gotten to 12 hours. I just keep making new accounts.
You got to 10, right?
I must have gotten to 4 or 5, sure, yeah. So, what's your guys' best? What are your guys' best voyage? What's chat's best voyage? I see some very impressive scores.
I've done 1140. 1140 is my, or 1145, something like that.
I don't like to measure and make someone else feel inadequate, but I'm pretty sure it's like 11 hours, 20 minutes, I think, like that. And that was due to favorable RNG, which, as I learned this week, can swing just as badly in the other direction because I had like my first voyage fail before 10 hours in like a year, and I was not pleased.
Not only do our chat know Trek better than us, they also apparently are better at the game because they have higher voyage runs than we do.
I'm seeing a lot of 11s there.
Well, yeah, because we do stupid things like like crew retrieve Vargas and immortalize Nick and chase every Worf in the game. So
they're playing the game properly.
We do stupid things. Yeah, exactly. We are not role models.
They're advancing their roster and furdering the crew.
Yes, it's
everyone pulls for the
children. I'm I'm a role model.
I like how both of you just took a drink break there.
I need a quick drink break.
We don't want to step on it, you know.
I don't know. Yes, Namer with 1156. I remember seeing the post of that when he was putting up, and that was tragic. He was so close. Had to end.
So congratulations to Morden.
Very well done. Shall we talk about a load of Baloks? I made that joke last week, and I'm still proud of it. But Balok has now launched. He is now actually in the game. You can win him if you are lucky, which quite a few people have been. Some people have been chasing some stupid scores. I've seen chasing him in street boxes.
It's been nuts. I have not seen Gauntlet go this... I don't think it even went this crazy when Red Angel launched.
People love some Clint Howard.
I want to be angry and jealous. Chat, who has Balok already? I don't think any of us have him. We haven't sniffed him. We've gotten a lot of credit packs and 1-star components and all good stuff, but not Balok yet. So
I got Abraham Lincoln's 5-star gold watch.
Ooh. That'll resell well on the Celestial market.
You can pawn it.
You know, if you could sell equipment, I think I would.
That would be amazing.
Pawn it against
my inventory
at the poker game.
Yeah, no
I'd stop moaning at me, you two. No one Balok?
No, not many Baloks out there. This is a neutered crowd.
All right, but before we get into his stats and everything, I think it's time we got to get. We need a Gauntlet Behold. We need a Gauntlet Token. We need something to deterministically try to get this crew, because when you get a Gauntlet drop, it's half chance to get the current reward, half chance to get all the other previous ones. So it's down to what, like it was 12.5% chance. What is it now? It's like a 1 in 5, so a 10% chance that you might get the one that you're missing.
Yeah, I think that's how the math would work out. Yeah,
we don't do math.
So it's not. You play years and years and not see the one that you want, even if you're a daily player. So they got to do something, right?
I think there's something like because you got her on her ult, because of course. I think like maybe some kind of option to like buy a single copy of one of them from the Honor Hall for 200k. I think that would be a decent idea, like a single behold. Yeah. And then you can't do it again. You can only get one copy, so you're forced to site or DYC. Just like with the Honor Hall crew, but even more expensive. I think that would be a decent trade-off, and I think a lot of people would probably actually go for that.
I think what would be good is if they kind of retired, like if they sort of kept the pool to say 5 in there. So use the 5 you've got in, because there's the higher pool, the lower pool. The higher pool which has Balok in it, the lower pool which has the rest. It'd be good if they said, right, Armus is our oldest one. Let's take him out of the lower pool, leave the 4 rest in there, and put him in the, like you say, put him in the Honor Hall for 200k, a little bit more, and say like he's an older card. He's a bit more niche for Gauntlet now. Still rocks it, but you know when you're going up against loads of Armuses, he's less important. Shout out. Do you want to read this next shout out auto from us? No, this shout out's from Auto saying shout out to Skycat's Balok. Super happy for her.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, it's only been a few days, but interestingly, in those few days, we have found out some new stuff about Gauntlet. They added at least 2 new Gauntlet trade sets to highlight Balok by giving him big fat crit. He has 2 65% new Gauntlet setups, and he is a monster. He's on par with Red Angel and Cutis. If they have equivalent crit, he will crush a bunch of his pairs. Even single roll, like his command roll is tied with Kalis as the top command roll, so he will run over fools. And they did this back when they added Red Angel, gave her sets to sort of highlight how good she is. So they did this with Balok, and I think like the very first Gauntlet ran after they added him was with his crit. I'm like, WRG, what are you doing? No one can actually have him in the game
for SummerSlam. I want to see Balok out there getting crit rolls.
Oh my God, it's Mirror Jean-Luc Picard with the chair.
My God, Armus had a family. Stop the damn match.
By God.
So anyway, he's a monster. He's almost a straight upgrade on Kalis. Like the order's a little different. He's really good. But I wanted to highlight because in these new sets they added, there are a couple other crew who got 45% crit, including and these are sort of the highlights. Commander Ari Bin Bem. This is his first 45% set. So with the marketplace hitting the fan, that Pendronian Polestar might get pretty capable Gauntlet crew. Captain Civil of Forge, who, with Captain's Oath coming around, if you want a 45%.
Yeah.
The Keeper, who you trashed on earlier, has one. Barry Waddle and Atana Joel, 2 former Mega crew. Actually, Keeper gets 45% in both of these new gauntlets.
See, I'll trash Keeper a little bit because the tertiary skill is not so great. Their command roll is not great, but in terms of mid-side, they will crush almost anything. They are formidable in that respect.
I see we have Mr. Troy in chat. How are you doing, WRG Ben? I assume he's back from honeymoon, maybe not. Maybe he's still in his palace in Dubai.
He's just like sitting amidst a bed made of ISM.
He's like Scrooge McDuck diving into the dilithium.
Just like sitting on a quilt made of quantum. He knows riches and opulence, the likes of which we shall never know.
Now, Ben, if you missed us ragging on you in that parody video earlier on, go back and watch it because
I can play it again. We should play again.
Yeah, we'll play it later.
Yeah.
But congratulations on a pretty damn smooth rollout, crew retrieval.
Yeah, not bad.
Because whether you're personally enjoying it or not, I haven't seen any breaking bugs. That's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
Yeah, no, I think this is actually the single smoothest rollout I've seen of a feature, because I think all like the new events have always had issues, but like this is like... There's like a thing with the refresh, but I think that's an intentional thing to stop people from like, counter-sniping each other on like bots or whatever, but like... There is some incredible, like, it's a good infrastructure, honestly. Like, I can see there's a lot of work been put into this.
Rolling back to the gauntlet, there's one, I don't know if you mentioned him, Auto, in the Crafting Terracotta Undercover Operative. Not only Balok gets the 65%, but so does Obsidian Order Garrick, and he's kind of one of my favourite cards. And to see him get another
second 65% set.
It's interesting to see there was another sort of set for someone that isn't just Balok, and I kind of like getting a bit more use out of him because I really like him. I should probably level him up, but I like him.
But then you wouldn't live up to your name with Captain Idol.
No, that's true. I should rename it. Not Idol.
Captain Active.
Captain. That's my weekend name.
You told Louisa that.
No.
Okay, so Chad, help me out here. If Captain Idol were a superhero and he rips open his button-down shirt to reveal an icon, what would superhero Captain Idol's chest icon be instead of a big red S?
Okay, I hate to... Oh, there you go.
I was say a picture of J.G. Palmer's face, but go on.
I was going to suggest that it would just be like an animated GIF of Mirakili with the phaser.
Yeah, that'd be great. I forget if animated GIFs as t-shirts. That'd be amazing.
I'm sure you can do it with like augmented reality glasses and stuff
Possibly,
like that now.
But I mean, just like, sort of like a kind of screen on there.
Do you want to wear an NFT?
Oh, okay, now you've ruined it. Now you've done it.
Plain simple, Garrick is right. He would have a level 1 crew as his superhero icon because he never levels his...
Level 1 Braxton, yeah, that would do it.
No. Damn it, I can't stop the heterocyclic declination. We need a biomolecular physiologist in here. This man is dying.
Sorry, I love that.
See, I was gonna do the disrespect one, but you're rolling punches, so kudos to you.
Okay. Anything more on Balok?
I think we're all in a holding pattern waiting to get him, and then we can talk more about
it. Yeah, then we can. Yeah. Well, I think it is worth noting that, like, I got a bit of kudos to Shan for, like, admitting, hey, these aren't final stats, and then they came out and they were final, so clearly they were happy with the balance for that. He is a bad Voyager, but to be fair, I don't think it would have been hard to make him a good Voyager with the skill set. He has cool traits. He has great art. I think he looks amazing. Like, I think making the choice to have both the puppet and the kid is a smart choice. I think that worked out really well.
Not just that, but they sort of squish it down for the headshot. So when you're going through your crew, you can see them both. I'm pretty sure he's going to make the final 4 for the end of year best crew art of 2021.
That's a good point. I should start thinking about that.
I should have to dust off my suit.
You mean the voting committee should start thinking about it?
That's true. Yes,
we have nothing to do with it.
We could actually have
the Senate.
We actually have an active Discord. We can actually probably have a proper voting committee, so this could actually be a real thing. So
so that we can ignore them when they make the wrong decision.
Oh, sorry.
I want them throwing popcorn on stage when we reveal the
our faithful users are slighted.
That's
Anyway.
true.
Well, they're faithful for their own. You know, that's their own fault for being faithful.
There we go. Community pick. How about that? We can throw that bone in there.
Yeah, we can fit a community pick in there. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. They can have one as a treat.
Yeah.
For many hair flips.
Does redone rework art count as 2021 art? I think it does. I think we could put Martok on there. Or
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think so.
Was he 20?
He was this year. What year is it?
God,
yeah, it was in the last 7
last
months.
year
Isn't
and
it?
this year has been like 10 years long. I have no clue who debuted when.
He came out after
That's what
Christmas.
happens when you go out through that interspatial flexure.
Yeah. Gotta be careful with that.
I can't do it.
Puffs up his nose.
Oh, that guy. I just wondered who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Really want that guy in the game. He's so good. I would want him to be the first animated crew in the game.
The layman's term that covers any number of phenomenon.
An interstitial flexure. He's so...
All right. Shall we have
easiest derail of my life?
Yeah.
Stop talking about that guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Just never mind. I was going to say play the video again. I want to rag on Ben, but he's here. He's having a good time. Let's
we'll do it later. We'll do it. We'll finish on it. Let's do Beholder Mia.
It's his honeymoon, so let him have that.
Let's have a Beholder Mia because now I have actually added everyone in the portal to it because I figured that was a little bit more interesting than just portal crew. We're used to the portal crew now. We kind of, you're used to seeing them all the time. Let's see if we can get some interesting choices. So can you give me the sound, please, stars? We'll do 3 of these and then we'll move on to the Tuesday.
So, there we go.
Okay, there's no new non-portal crew in here, but we got 0 stars on all of these. 0 stars on Kai Opaka, 0 stars on Chancellor Gowron, 0 stars on woman from the game. Forget her name now.
Katana Joel. You literally said, I think, didn't you say her name earlier?
Maybe. Or
it might have been all actually. Yeah, fair enough.
Katana Joel.
Okay,
this is an incredibly well-dressed Behold, I think I have to say. This is
the fashion show 2037 or whatever.
Yeah.
2396.
While chat opinions are rolling in on this, I want to highlight this Cisco 1 former #1 faction event said.
And #1 Olay salesman.
Yes, that's true. He's
Olay!
dressing in a science lower decks uniform for Star Trek Las Vegas. So if you guys missed it, we had been on some time in the past, and they said that the license for lower decks was not available. Well, apparently they've gotten their hands on it. Things are looking more optimistic.
Negotiating. That's why.
Yes. It's not a done deal, but it may be coming sometime in the. If you've been holding out hope for lower decks for Ensign Tendi and Beckett Mariner and all those great, we may see some lower decks crew in the future, which is great.
So I have to ask, did you guys see that clip for season 2 that they put out of them driving on the starbase in the Argo car? And they go past, what is it, the Antidean?
Yeah.
And it's like, watch out for the fish people. They're not people. I saw that and I couldn't stop laughing for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We need a chat command for what a handsome race.
Oh, yeah. I actually need to get
That's
some
true.
more lower decks.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down, actually. Andy, where's my
Okay, so this is overwhelmingly Gowron favored. Does anyone dissent?
So I have to say, I actually adore Kaio Parker. I think for like a character who only appears twice in DS9, she has such a presence and such her actress is amazing as well. That I would kind of almost be tempted to pick her just for the fun of it, just because I think she's got great art. I love just the character. That would be an affection pick for me. If this was 1 star on Gowron and then I had no scars on Kaio Parker, I would take her. That'd be an easy one for me, because adding stars to Gowron is a bad proposition pretty much all the time.
So let me ask the far more knowledgeable chat. Did Opaka disappear into the ether because Louise Fletcher and Kai Wynn came in as the Bajoran Kai, the candidate for the show, or was she just always meant to be the sort of one-two show?
So here's an interesting thing about that, actually. So, do you know? I think it's called The Collaborator. I think it's a season 2 episode, and it's the one where Bareil puts himself up to be elected Kai. And they were in the middle of writing that. and they were going to have Brile be elected Kai, and then they realized, wait, why the fuck would we do that? That's a stupid idea. We're robbing ourselves of all the potential conflict, and that's why they had the whole thing of like Brile taking the floor for Kai Opaka, just so that they could have Wynn take the role and create 7 seasons worth of antipathy between her and Sisko and Kira. So I'm pretty sure it was always the plan to get rid of Opaka so that you would create that political vacuum. And to be honest, as much as I love Opaka, all of the drama is just so delicious that I think that was the right decision to make.
Apparently, Place Little Garrick says she didn't get along with Avery Brooks, which surprises me because I thought he was. I imagine he might have been quite the jazzy personality that he is. Maybe he was a bit too forward, or maybe she was a bit more. I don't know. Never heard that one, but.
To be fair, I understand Avery Brooks is a bit hard to get on with. He's very jazz, but he can also be very like, this is a serious thing we're doing.
Well, all the great artists, you know.
Yeah.
Although I feel like if I butted heads with Avery Brooks, I'd walk away thinking I'm wrong. I need to change something about me because Avery Brooks doesn't like me. So I don't know.
You betrayed your uniform, and you just walk away like.
No. I think this is unresoundingly Gowron. Shall we spin it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
We shall indeed. Let me just.
What setting are you on? Also, actually, no. Auto, you've got to guess the setting. So ready? Go for it, Stars.
Oh, we're going for a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that's the medical one. What's it called? It's not Geo. Is it Med?
It is Bio.
Bio.
Ooh.
I knew it was the medical one.
Ooh, this is a fun one. So 1 star on Zindi, not Zindi Prisoner, the one with the archer with the
Imprinted.
Yes, that's the one.
Imprinted.
Imprinted Archer. Chuffed Captain, 0 stars, or sheer fucking hubris Captain Admiral Clancy at 0 stars as well. I might be chuffed for me, but I love Clancy, so I think I might swing that way.
I think I'd have to go chuffed here just because I love the art and he is so stupid looking. I adore it.
It is.
And he is also. Yeah, no, like you put that up against like. I'm wondering how that stupid like Nerf gun lines up with other people's crew art, because I bet you can make some hilarious permutations with that. And he's also a decent Voyager with a decent thing, and he's got that rare hunter trait which keeps on popping up on Voyagers that no one can ever fill. So he's got that kind of niche use. Clancy is purely for Gauntlet and for the meme. And Archer is just bad.
The Hubris, which is her ship name, which I'm still angry about. They could have at least put sheer and then apostrophes Hubris. I would have let that, but it's not the Hubris. She doesn't sit in front of Picard and go, the Hubris.
Chat is actually split 50-50 on this, and no one wants to add the star. So where's our VIP 0 rep?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
So
that Archer is so bad.
Those are fun crew, but I'm not taking a first star on those two. Really? I would definitely add the star here.
Well, Chuff Captain has got he's got arena ability, hasn't he? He's got the 400%, I believe, if I recall correctly.
I believe he does. Yeah,
but you only need what 3 for skirmish,
if you don't have
for
any,
daily arena.
425%.
Yeah, but he looks more fun
at 8 seconds, so a bit more.
That's 25% more efficiency. That's a year-on-year increase.
So his compounding interest.
Fun fact about Chuff Captain. If you've not watched the Taz episode, the premise is they get this weapon and the weapon changes over time and becomes something else. When you equip the weapon, I haven't got it, but I've heard this from other people. When you equip the weapon, it actually changes to all those permutations throughout the thing. So they haven't just kind of gone for one art. They've actually incorporated the Taz episodes. That's really good. A nice little attention to detail. That means you've actually watched the episode. Fantastic.
Everyone is saying to airlock Archer, you know what? Not a bad choice.
Yeah, true.
Am I the only person that loved Scott Bakula in it? Like, to me,
I like
the whole premise
I don't like Archer.
The whole premise is he's not supposed to be a polished captain. He's supposed to be bad at it. This is his first time. He wasn't like born and bred for it. He just happened to do it because his dad was. I think it was fun, but I don't want to. This is a long, drawn out.
All I will say is that my friend Katie has started watching season 4 of Enterprise, and there are a few moments where Archer has shown himself to be an okay character, and she's like, "Don't try and start this now after 3 seasons of being a shitbag." And I'm like, "Yep."
Well, I happen to think he is fantastic.
You jewel. That's exactly what I hoped.
I'm glad we found that one. Archer was okay. Like, I was never nonplussed. I thought the early seasons Archer was a bit like, oh, he did, a bit less of a dick. But like you say, he's new. But then I thought, even when, like, the guiding principles, you're supposed to be like, the representative of humanity is like, I'm going to kick you in your ass. I'm like, well, just tone it down. But later seasons of Archer was better. Anyway.
I'm going to just go ahead and say that Archer with Sir X Soul, if we had had that Archer for the entirety of... If we had had like a season 1 thing where he got permanently fused with Sir X Katra and that was his character arc for the show, that'd be a radically different Enterprise and that'd be a lot cooler. I'll say that.
All right.
Just do a personality transplant. It's fine.
He needs it. Let's spin it again. Let's do one more spin, then we'll talk about the Tuesday pack.
And that was actually a good behold because there were choices for everyone in that.
Yeah.
All right, we ready?
Go on. Name that tricorder noise. What are you scanning?
Is that Geo?
That's Met, which I think is meteorological.
Damn. Am I 1 for 2?
I don't think you've got any right yet.
I said it's the medical one. Come on.
It's like a half point. It's a half point. Give him that.
Okay. 0 stars on UFP President Ragotre, 2 stars on Age of Sail Data, and 0 stars on Mira Bashir Data. Mr. Data. And 0 stars on Mira Bashir. I think this one's a little bit clear cut.
Yeah, I had the star here. Like Mira Bashir is like fine if provided you don't mind him looking like he's just stepping out of a brothel, but and he's got a few collections. He's like, you don't have to put on the dress tonight.
So when's karaoke?
Never. Don't even ask me. Actually, you know what? If someone is willing to do a duet of
Endless Love,
no. No.
Sorry, I don't know why I went there.
Slipped out real quick. I was gonna say Feed Me from Little Shop of Horrors, then we might.
Oh, okay.
Actually, before we even started this show, this was shortly after I got to know Idol. I found out he was a musician, and I really wanted to do, if you guys live in the US and you're a little bit older, maybe you remember those Time Life infomercials, the best of the 70s and blah, 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 and you send them $40 to a self-addressed stamped envelope to their P.O. box, and they send you the best of CDs. I wanted to do a bunch of Trek parodies with like the old time in the style of the old Time Life infomercials. So
the
maybe
text
we'll do that
up
someday.
the different songs, and there's the one that's featured is highlighted. Yeah, we used to have them in this country, like the best of country and western and things like that.
Yeah. So maybe one day when we won't get
We'll do
copyright strike and removed from Twitch. So.
I still need to have I still need to collaborate with Shireporn on something. We need to do that.
I'm sure you'll create a whole new genre of music. You can call it Journey to Eden Core.
Ooh. Don't put thoughts in my head.
Okay.
It's not taken yet.
This is true. There is no Eden Core. It's probably because it's terrible.
Hold on now. You espouse the virtues of a Frasier. Are you going for UFP president?
He is a diplomat. Okay, so let's put it like this way. Okay, you got your 2 stars on Age of Sail Data, but you have filled up Diplomat and Mirror aside from 1 slot. Would you take the star to fill up the 1 slot, or would you wait and cite up data? Chat, come in on that one as well. Let's say you needed just 1 Diplomat or 1 Mirror. Would these crew be any more attractive to you than maybe Data at this point? Although Data is costumed, isn't he?
He's costumed, he's Age of Sail, and he's Android.
Yeah,
so
I think even then...
I think that's too much of an edge out there, to be honest.
Yeah.
No,
I'm a vanity fiend, so easy data for me. But
Yeah. Even though we established that his art is incorrect, but we'll let that slide.
If Bashir's audio quote thing was just a clip from Sting and the Police, then I'd probably take him. But outside of that, it's gonna be Data.
Brilliant. I like your logic.
Okay, let's swing around and have a look. Oh no, don't spin it. Turn it off. Right, let's swing around and talk about this week's Tuesday pack of Riker for everybody. A very dapper Riker from the episode Q Who? No, not Q Who. It's
True Q.
True Q. That's right, with Amanda Rogers. Yes, that's right. Yes, this is.
It doesn't sound right.
True Q.
You might be right, but.
where Amanda Rogers steps into the holodeck and is presented with with Riker there being I think he got transported there by Q against his wishes, didn't he? To romance Amanda for his whims. So this is the very dapper outfit he comes in. He's this week's Tuesday pack. Anyone want him, or does anyone want the other thing that's in this Tuesday pack?
What, you mean the Carlos that you got saddled with like an entire dupe of because you kept on chasing Riker?
So no, I wasn't chasing Riker. I was not chasing Riker. I was going the safe bet and chasing Heist Bashir. I got him on the 6th pack, and I got bloody 2 Carlos Datas, which I already have a copy of. So ask the question: is it worth a dupe? And that's a no.
I was very happy because we were all pulling packs on that because like it's actually a pretty decent 6-pack, but don't follow our habits, please. God, I'm begging you. Don't make us replay the Wolf pack video again. It hurts me more than it hurts you. Don't. Let's not. And I felt kind of bad because like everyone was throwing a lot of dill in there, and then I was like, what might it look like? And I just like I threw a screenshot in there of one and done Heist Bashir, and I think it was our beloved number 2 faction winner, DC Pilot, said, I think I hate you a little bit right now. And I was like, sorry, bud.
You think he gets used if he gets fused?
Do you?
I was literally about to go for the command.
Thank you. If you were to use Regency Riker, dip command, you got. Would you fuse him?
An unsuspecting Riker is suddenly swept from a date in 10 forward. Jane Austen-esque garden by Amanda Rogers. Newfound powers.
Yes, so thank you, Chan, for pointing out. Yes, it was Amanda that brought him there, not Q. I need to rewatch that episode. It's a good episode, actually. I like it.
Yeah, no, it is actually a decent one because you get a bit more threat out of Q, who had otherwise kind of been a bit defanged by that point in the show. I actually really like this Riker. I think this art is cool, and Riker doesn't have a lot of like 2-skillers, so I think this one is a bit.
He has 7 2-skillers, actually.
Oh, but they're all purples, right? Aren't they?
Purple or blue or...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first gold one, but because I looked this up earlier, I'm like, that's what I thought. I go, he doesn't have a lot of 2-skillers, right? And then I'm like, what the hell? How does he have 7 2-skillers?
And I don't know, I'm kind of inclined to give this one. I would actually grab him in a behold if I could behold him, but obviously I see he's a 6-pack at the moment. But he's a fun crew. He's an actually fun crew. I'm not going to advise anyone to like chase the deck for 6-pack because he is pretty much purely event use only. I think he does have a bit of gauntlet use there, but it's not a card for daily use, I wouldn't say.
Yeah. No name.
It's just fun.
God bless him. He spent 52,000 dilithium and didn't get him. That's your warning shot. And he was buying the big packs, the 6,500 dilithium ones, no chance, nothing on it. And I think his primary reason was he can't be sniped with crew retrieval at any point. He is not a guaranteed behold. He does have some gauntlet use, though.
You will have nothing!
Except my honor.
There you go.
That is shockingly appropriate right now.
He does
like, pour one out in the chat. That's even worse than my wolf packs.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's real bad.
So yeah, he does have 3 45% gauntlets. There's that long-standing one, Romantic Federation Diplomat, where you have a couple of heavy hitters with 65%, Ambassador Troy, Nechayev, Mambo Picard to cover that in the sort of command dip. And he has one where Eng is featured, and you shouldn't be taking really 2-skiller crew to an Eng gauntlet if they don't match the skill. So his best one is going to be Starfleet costumed and veteran, where Nechayev is kind of going to be his only competition. But the question is, do you want to take a 2-skilled crew to the gauntlet?
To be fair, he's the kind of person I would bring into the gauntlet if I had a copy, just to lighten everyone's because it's always fun when you see an odd crew in there, right? When you see someone who's like, oh, I forgot that crew had roles like this, and then you kind of avoid attacking them because you're like, actually, I don't want to attack into that.
Because when I heard the name Regency Riker, my first thought was it's Riker from Time's Arrow. I thought it was kind of the cop Riker when he's cop, and then someone pointed out, no, that would be this one. I thought, wow, that's a cool card.
That would be Century Riker.
Yes, Century
Riker. That's
the name indeed.
Thunder from Down Under Riker.
Only good cop Riker.
Can we get a Times Arrow Mega? I would love that, as with Samuel Clemens as the recurring.
Well, we
have enough crew still. Yeah,
we did get Guinan and Nurse Crusher and stuff. So
we still need.
We don't even have the Ophidian bad guys yet.
No.
So we can do them. I think they were just the Ophidian
the
Fair guys.
Ophidian,
Because they didn't think they had an identity, really. They were just like... I think they had a few lines of dialogue, but that was about it. They were just kind of an enemy and a way to facilitate going into the past.
If they get Century Picard, it has to be called Mr. Pickard. I will accept nothing else. It's Mr. Pickard.
Has to be.
Yeah.
The chat says this is the first 2-scalar gold since October. Is that right?
Really?
That's been a long... That's almost a year without a 2-scalar gold. That's...
No way. That can't be real.
I have to check now.
No,
Not that I don't doubt you, chat.
real?
I just have to confirm myself. I do that. Really?
That just seems too shocking. I am actually legitimately shocked.
I think people were genuinely upset by... Yeah, I think people were genuinely upset by the Mega where we got like 4 2-skillers or something. Maybe they thought, oh no.
Yeah, that was rough.
I'm going to take your word. I can't bother to check, but I'm going to take your word for it's October. Wow, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're probably right, because I can't...
Well, there were a bunch of crew who may as well have been a 2-skiller, but technically weren't, so...
There's been a lot of shit.
There's nothing here but worthless gold.
I'm scrolling back. There were no 2-skill event crew that I see.
I guess it must be right then. That's kind of nuts, isn't it? They probably made up for it by the fact that most of the 3-skiller crew have been absolutely fucking garbage. But...
For every Regency Riker, there is an A.G. Robinson.
Yeah, that's a really long haul. I know when people see 2-skills, they're like, oh, useless, I don't want them. But it's like,
it depends,
with hundreds and hundreds of gold crew in, you can only use so many on Voyager. If they're good on shuttles, then
this
skills are not useless.
Like you say, Stars, if he comes up in a Behold and there's a few other options, then yeah, I'll take him because Riker event, shuttles, he's weighty, and obviously people look at, like you've said before, so you look at dip rank 89, well, that's a tight margin, isn't it? So he will be a good on shuttles somewhere at some point. I don't know, what's his traits? I don't know what he's got. Not much, actually.
Costumed romantic.
Starfleet, costumed romantic.
So it's pretty bad. He's,
it.
Event-wise, you've got to kind of bank on that Riker or romantic, really, haven't you?
I mean, to be fair, Riker isn't a bad event name, honestly. He's pretty consistent in that respect.
Yeah, I don't see any other 2-skill golds in that time period, so...
Crazy. That's nuts. Well done.
That's a hell of a pull.
Holy moly.
I mean, everyone's Voyager ranks had to suffer to make that happen, but, you had to make sacrifices.
Well, they did.
Speaking of which, there's a new McCoy as well, isn't there?
Oh, there is. And did I put his stats in? That's a good question. Actually, we did forget a crew.
The one time I give you a segue, you're not sure.
We forgot. No, I forgot. Yeah. So yes, actually, there is another crew that completely forgot about in next week's event. Tribbled McCoy is coming, which the rumblings of some sort of Tribble themed event are looming huge over everyone, with a Scimed Dip 2 collection hitting another McCoy in a blue uniform, which we've got quite a few of these now. Not that I'm complaining.
It's the third one, right?
Yeah, because we've got Bones McCoy.
The 8th one. We got
yeah, there's a lot of the same theme, but I think Mirror McCoy counts as well. He's the same kind of. You could have a lineup of all these sort of.
That's different. That's Mirror uniform. That's different.
There's the Voyage exclusive Dr. Leonard McCoy. There's the 1-skiller Dr. Bones McCoy. There's the 1-star CMO Bones McCoy. There's the Mirror McCoy, and now Tribbled McCoy.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this McCoy, his voice stat is not great, but as 2 collections. And if I'm not wrong, he is the number 1 McCoy Psi, correct?
Oh, is he?
Because he's a Psi primary, and I'm based on all the other McCoys are
primary. By a huge margin. Torpedo Surgeon McCoy is like 370 points behind him.
So if you're a McCoy fan, there's definitely like mileage here, and I don't know, I like Tribbles. I like Tribble crew. This is fun.
McCoy suggests an easy solution to the Tribble overbreeding problem. Quit feeding them.
That's cool. I like that.
That would work. Yeah. I also have to bring up, this relates again to your reroll auto, where we were talking about crew with a female component, and we were talking about the fact that Captain Tribble is labeled as male in the game files, despite the fact that in 1960s terminology, McCoy points out that they are bisexual and are born pregnant, which is translation for they're actually hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
So they are neither, actually.
I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
So you're saying this Captain Tribble is male, despite the fact he is obviously not female?
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? No.
Okay. How do we think about it? I mean, I'm conflicted on this because I kind of want... I need to get 400k.
I am fully functional.
I want to get a 400k for Braxton, but I don't want to wait. And like, there could be some other Kron. This doesn't seem like, apart from the collection, and everyone knows how I stand on that. I don't see enough here that I really want, but I kind of do want. It's weird. I want to Phil do no harm, but I'm going to be sure there's going to be better ways to do that.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Is that like so? What are his advantages? So 2 collections. Physician is hard to finish because it's like you need pretty much everyone. Exobiology is not that hard to finish. He is the #1 psi for McCoy, but his voyage rank is worse than the very similar Tribbled Quark who we got recently for 4 out of 5 stars. So if you're looking at him purely for voyage utility, he's there.
I mean, like, Voyagers, Voyagers have got hit hard in the top ranks lately. Like, we've had a lot of spill down. Like, a year ago, 124 would have been pretty decent. That would have been probably somewhere in the 70s or 80s, and we'd probably be looking at it with a different perspective. Because Pollard is still used on a lot of Voyagers, and she's now 154. Just by instance, but partly because of Med Command. I know that, but yeah, it's a rare.
Yeah, but it's like a Psi primary is never going to be the same as a Med Command.
If we're talking like pure raw power, like I think he has been power creep before he even came out, but it's not a bad one. EV Suit Spock, he's 122. That's like two points away.
He's a very middle of the road kind of crew. He's the kind of crew who I would look at like down the road and be like, you know what, fuck it, I like McCoy. I'll throw some sights on it. He's that kind of crew where it's like, depending on how he ages, like if you get like another collection that boosts some psi, maybe he'll slip up some voyage ranks and be a bit more appealing. But it is a case of, I don't know. In fact, you know what, Otto, you might know this. What's McCoy's event history like? Is he more of a faction guy or galaxy? Or
last time I looked, he'd only had 2 faction events. All the rest were like galaxy or whatever. So, but that's not always indicative. You mostly want to look at that when you're thinking reruns, because if they are very apt to rerun events 3-4 times sometimes, and so if he's been featured in a lot of galaxies and they keep rerunning them, maybe you never get. He does get plenty of events, so I think his event clip is good enough. You can't totally rely on a bad faction rate.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? I had to point out you do have to take him because you are McCoy. If you forget.
Oh yes, in the SDA stream, yeah. I'd like to apologise. The event count is actually inaccurate here. It's not 0. There's something wrong with my tool that gets the information off. So apologies about that. He does have events.
A few short months ago, we had a trait audit where they removed traits that were only used by 1 or 2 crew, where there were 2 esoteric, blah blah blah. We now have Captain Tribble, who has the Tribble trait. And now we have Tribbled McCoy, who has the Tribbled with the D trait.
Yes, it's a weird
one. Why?
Because I think
why?
There has been a change, because Tribbled now includes Tribbled McCoy, and now Edward Larkin. So I'm wondering, this is... Edward Larkin got it added recently.
What about Captain Lucero?
No, she does not. She does not have Tribbled as of yet. Which is stupid because
consistency.
She's holding...
Thy name is WRG.
Yeah, exactly. This is, I think if they are going to go Tribbled, and this is kind of alluding to something that might be happening, because why would they add a new trait for some and not others?
Plot twist: we're going to have like a Tribble mega, and then like you're going to wake up and all of your crew are Tribbles for a day as an April Fool's thing. Late.
Kari says, "What does Tribbled actually mean?" And that's not a bad point. Is one Tribbled if one's holding a Tribble? Have you...
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody cares but Cyrano Jones.
That was beautiful.
No, I'm glad you approve.
To be Tribbled. I couldn't be Tribbled.
It's a frame of mind. It's a mental state that you achieve.
You say frame of mind, I can only picture Riker shattering into glass pieces as he hits the wall.
You're damn right, I'm Tribbled!
You strike me down, hit me with quadritricaline and call it a treatment.
Evans raised a good point. Quark looks Tribbled. He should be Tribbled because he has a Tribble on his head, but he is Tribble, not Tribbled. So is there a what's the metric here?
He is be-tribbled. He is clothed in Tribble.
But McCoy is holding a Tribble, but he is Tribbled. Gork has a Tribble on his head. He is just Tribble, but he is not Tribble. He's a Ferengi. Oh my!
I can't wait for the next crew to come out and they are Tribble adjacent, parallel to a Tribble.
Tribble implied.
Third Tribble removed.
Tribble implied Cisco.
I think we've run this one into the ground.
That'll do. Kirk should be the ultimate.
This is like crew. We've only been going for what, an hour. I think we've atrophied from not doing these shows regularly because we would be right in the smack middle of the show usually. And themes, so.
Well, actually, we haven't found anything to argue about yet. Ask me about my how good my fully sighted Quinlan is doing. Ask me about that.
Hey, listen, I actually do have the fake crew lined up. If you want to do that as well, so we've got a bit of time. We can roll through into community suggestions. Since we've talked about everything else, let's do the fake crew. We shouldn't be able to do this for long since you're here, and you have put the work in. Stars.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll change it up. What am I doing? I'm pressing that button, and then I'm pressing a different button. That button didn't work. That one did. Let's press this button. Okay, so fake crew. If you don't know already, come over to the Discord and you can put a suggestion in with a little command, and that will put a crew you want to see in the game into our suggestions. And Stars here will mock up some stats for us to make sort of talk about crew that we would like in. And first up on the docket is Lieutenant Joe Carey. Thank you to Skycap for suggesting this one. Carey, the engineer-to-be from Voyager that got his face kicked in by Doris.
So, I feel really bad, because I honestly, when I make these crew, I actually go through the entire crew retrieval list of crew, and I go, can I justify this trait? And sometimes I go a bit overboard. Like, I'm pretty sure I think it was you, Idler, pointed out that I give Captain Ransom enough traits last time.
All the traits in the
and you know
game.
what? But they were appropriate, right? I couldn't find anything for Carey.
So you're saying that Carey...
Tribbled?
Is he Tribbled?
He's not Tribbled, unfortunately.
He has been in the vicinity of Tribble.
Yeah, there were no Tribbles on Voyager, actually. The only thing I could find to justify was Artist, because if you recall, he appears quite a bit in Season 1, I think sporadically throughout the rest of the show, because they've forgotten they hadn't killed him off. So they would use him to indicate whenever Voyager was in the past. Like, I'm being completely serious here. And then in Season 7, they remembered that they hadn't killed him off, featured him in, I think it was Friendship 1 or One Small Step, I can't remember which one it was, and then immediately gets killed. Because of course. The guy dies like 1 month out of getting back to the Alpha Quadrant. Because
you could give him Survivalist then. If he survives 7 years in the Delta Quadrant.
I thought that would be a bit cruel. I thought that like giving the guy who died 5 minutes before they got back to the Alpha Quadrant Survivalist would be a bit rubbing it in, but maybe. I don't know. So Artist is because I'm pretty sure Janeway goes into his quarters after he's died, and he had like a nearly finished model of the USS Voyager, because he would build little model ships, and it was missing like one nacelle, and it was meant to be your little sad thing to ruminate on after the episode's done. But that's all I could justify, because poor Joe Carey, he never got any respect. He never got any love. So I tried to give him some here.
Who builds a model of their own ship? That would be like if I came home from work and I drew a picture of like a gray factory building where I work. Who does that?
I mean, the Voyager is a pretty lovely ship. I would do that. I would. To be fair, Boimler would do that. Boimler would have like a model of the Cerritos. He's that much of a nerd. I tried to make up for his lack of traits by giving him a relatively decent stack in actual voyage power, because I like having one-offs that have like a bit of presence, actual utility in the game.
I like you've made a Voyager character an actual Voyager. That's apt.
Sometimes it happens, crazy enough. I also realized that because there is blood in this picture, we wouldn't be able to get broken nose, Gary. We would have to get some other kind of version.
Too violent.
Too violent.
Nosebleeds.
No one's ever skinned a knee or broken off a tooth in their mouth. No one's ever seen blood.
Kayaking accidents, perfectly fine. So we could have O'Brien with the broken shoulder, you know.
You mean with the 1980s sketch cup art with you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know the one. The stripe down the middle with the the beige colouring. There we go. Put that in suggestions. All right, next one. Ooh, Security Chief Eddington. Super rare. Thank you for Luxie LP for suggesting that one.
So, I think Marquis Eddington is one of the worst cards in the game. I love bringing up his big book entry. 3 traits, 2 skills, 1 airlock. It's the single. No one will ever top that. That's why the big book had to die for that. Thank you for putting in the nice after the voyage number. I appreciate that.
The wind blows, the tides rise, and the 69 will always get a nice.
Always.
Okay, so that quote, "You're worse than the Borg," is not from when he's on the station, though, right?
Yeah. He says it while he is still in uniform to Cisco 5 minutes after he leaves the station, basically. So I would allow it.
It's very WRG of you to do that.
It's a melding. It's a Timelines Talks original. It's human Eddington.
I see you held back from giving traits to Carey to just unload them on Eddington.
I mean, to be fair, so when I was creating this card, I had to remember, like, what does Eddington do of note before he returns traitor and goes off on his whole Victor Hugo rant? And I remembered that he is the guy. He's the only member of the senior staff who is not thrown into Bashir's Bond holodeck fantasy. And he is the one who comes up with the absolutely crackers idea of throwing everyone's like transporter patterns into the main computer core of DS9. And I remember that because it's that wonderful post, I think it's on like Facebook or Twitter or Tumblr or something like that, pointing out how stupid human science is in Star Trek. Where it's like, if you give humans 2 warp cores to experiment on, they'll jam them together, blow open a wormhole to an alternate universe where everyone's a fascist, go and beat them up, steal more warp cores, and then come back. And they pointed out that his attempt to just throw human biological patterns into a Cardassian computer core was like trying to run a Raspberry Pi through a PlayStation 2 memory card. Like, what was the logic there? So jury rigor, I feel like, is actually justified there.
It worked for Ira Graves, though, right?
Kind of.
To know him is to love him.
Right, actually. And to love him is to know him.
Actually, no. The funny part about that to me is, in order to have enough space for the human patterns, they have to dump all the rest of the contents of the computer because there's not enough space for them.
Everyone's pulling out the airlock.
It's a result of people not knowing in the 90s how powerful computers would be in the future. But I prefer to think of it optimistically as humans are so wonderful and complex and infinitely patterned that's the only way.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Many kinks, lots of them. Anyway, moving on.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Oh, we have to play the clip for this one. Hang on. Gotta... Oh, it didn't work. Hang on. I'll do it manually. Oh, it's...
Oh, I wasn't looking. It's all over you.
Yes, Ensign, it's all over me.
Ensign Sonia Gomez from Q-Who. Yeah, this is a fun character. She's supposed to be coming back for Lower Decks, isn't she? I think. Yes. And Okona as well. Somewhat... I need to
Alicia now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The 3-breasted alien in Total Recall, by the way.
That's one of those Star Trek facts that gets trotted out every 5 minutes. Like, you know that she was it's like, yes, I did know that because everyone tells me that. Yes. I was actually rewatching this episode because it's one of the ones I was using to introduce my friend. And it's really I would never accuse a 90s Star Trek of being subtle, but it was really unsubtle how they go from this character being introduced to the whole Q conversation about you're not ready for what's out here, to the introduction of the Borg, to slicing open the source section, to all those people, they all died. It's like as subtle as a sledgehammer, guys, but I guess it would prove the point.
Uncommon. Seems
Uncommon.
fitting. Yeah, if you get the messy Gomez, that'd be quite good. But she was in the next episode as well. She was the one after. She was supposed to be.
She was in a few.
Yeah, she was in 2.
She was in peak performance as well, I think.
That's
actually.
right. Yeah, I think.
Well, she was meant to be Geordie's love interest, and then they sort of scrapped that. So
yeah.
Well, because they realized it was a little bit unfortunate to have like a guy who was senior in command of her be romantically interested in her, and then proceeded to give that plot line to Picard later on anyway, because fuck it.
And they've made Geordie into a weird creep who likes holodeck people. But there you go.
When you're touching the engine, Geordie, you're touching me. Why is that not a clip?
Good lord. Okay, touching engines. Just gonna write that down. It's gonna confuse me in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck am I writing here?
How is no one picked up, by the way, on her ship ability?
It's all
well,
over
he
you.
did play the clip.
I did play the clip, yeah.
No, look at the ship ability.
Hang on.
On the ability.
Evasion by 3.
Decreases accuracy.
Oh, okay.
Decreases accuracy by 10. It lasts for 20 seconds. She is an active detriment to your ship balance.
Jeez Lord.
I'm trying to think of what other traits she could have, but I'm not coming up with anything.
Yeah. She wasn't in enough to have much development. It was a very TNG character.
Yeah,
you know, you could sort of do romantic because she is flirting with Geordie pretty heavily in the stuff that she's in with him. So
I could see that. Yeah, no, that would work actually. Yeah.
All right,
what Voyager though?
Well, it's not common. My Hardu, super rare. Thank you, Mr. Walt Koenig, for in chat, not actual Chekhov himself, but thank you, Walt Koenig, for volunteering this one to us.
That's
when you say the name,
rare.
Oh, is it?
When you say the name, you have to Wallace on it. My Hardu, come on.
Me Hardu. Yeah, no, he's meant to be a rare. That's why he sounds like so poor.
I always feel so much under pressure when people ask me to do impressions. I don't really want to. Inconceivable.
So, I do love that they felt the need to give Zek his very own Mr. Hom. Like, I feel like that's always a nice little trope that they do. And you know what? I was tempted to give him the quote that the prophet speaks when he's taking on the form of May I Do, because they always use the cast of that episode to speak through. But then I was like, you know what? No, I got to be true to the spirit of the card and have him be completely silent. So his ship ability is Beetle Snuff.
How do you say that? Hyperion?
Hyperion, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yep. Was he a bartender? Did he serve drinks, or was that?
Yes,
more...
I believe he serves drinks
yes.
for. Well, he's his servant. He would do, yeah.
Yeah. There's no servant's trait, is there?
I think they used to be, didn't they?
they?
I feel like they used to be.
Servant?
I feel like they used to be.
Waiter,
the
bartender?
actor also plays a Hirogen.
Oh, you know, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Call it the old memory alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Just spool it up.
Yep. Memory House has changed lately. They've changed their layout, and I don't like it. They've decorated.
Yeah, I know. You have to like click in to do in order to like a search. I wasn't a big fan of it either.
The actor's name is Tiny Ron.
What? Really?
Because he's massive.
Yeah.
Of course.
Fantastic.
It's like a Jimmy Twinkle Toes, and he's got no feet.
Birth name Ronald Taylor. Yeah, Tiny Ron is better, I guess.
Tiny Ron. Is there Deep Roy as well, who's the little guy in the Kelvinverse films?
Yeah. Idrin is the guy that he plays. So we already have Idrin in game.
Very nice.
Nice. I think my favorite Mayhardu moment is when Zek gets overwritten by the prophets to be all like charitable and benevolent, and he's just like weeping in the background and throwing
crying,
himself sobbing onto Quark because fix him, he's horrible now.
So
I would love that Zek variant. Actually, I might have to make that one up because that's one of my favorite Zek episodes.
No, that's a good
really funny.
All right, moving on. Undercover. I'm really glad this one got suggested because I would want some more of this. But Undercover Ceto Jaxa. Thank you, Joshua Tree, for suggesting that. This is a great episode. I do love it.
I mean, an entire show got spun off of the kind of the core premise of this episode, and rightly so. It is so good.
But not just that. This is such a tragedy but you know, it's a little bit of a political message and such a tragedy as well. Like what happens to her in the episode and the sacrifice she makes and the outcome of it is, yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah,
I feel the anxiety along with her when she gets called into Picard's ready room, and he fucking dismantles her.
Yeah.
He's just, oh man, like I would cry. Okay, if I were there and Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart, was dressing me down the way he does to her, I would just like, I would lose it. So props to her for.
Yeah, and it's like the fact that okay, what's worse, the way he dresses her down, or the way that he gives it to Wesley in the first duty? Because I felt like they're for the same incident. Essentially, it's like I feel like she almost gets it worse than Wesley, which isn't really fair.
Well, I mean, it's a totally different dynamic because at that point he'd known Wesley for years and served with him for years, and this was like a sort of a fresh posting for her. So she was sort of confused by it, whereas Wesley knew exactly why his ass was getting chewed out, and Picard was 100% right. So.
Yeah, that's fair. And I also I absolutely adore this character. She is so my boyfriend Brody absolutely adores the Bajorans. I think they may be his favorite race in all of Star Trek, partly because of Sito Jaxa. And I felt obligated because I think everyone loves this character. Everyone is in love with not just the performance, but just like the tragedy that surrounds her, the story arc. That it's only a 2-episode story arc, and yet it's one of the things that people remember most about TNG, really. And I felt obligated, like, no, this has to be a really good card. I want her to be really good.
You also have Mokbara Sito Jaxa that you could slip in there too.
Yeah, that's why I gave her the athlete. I was tempted to give her the quote for "There's no such thing as a Giktal, is there?" But I felt like, no, it's a different scene. You already gave me shit for that, so.
Does that not vex you that we got Mokbara Crusher before Mokbara Worf? I would have thought they should have, if they're going to do it, they would have led with him. But,
Well, we haven't got Mokbara Troy, or we could get Mokbara Tom Riker. Like, there's a million variants that you could do out of that really easily. I would love a med-sec sort of like diplomacy, like Worf. I think that'd be cool.
We will never run out of crew. I know some people have expressed concern about that before. We ain't never running out of crew.
Good Lord, no. I think we've only got a couple more here. Next one, Commander Valerie Archer. Super rare. Thank you, Rev Demar, for suggesting this one. Thank you,
the superior Archer.
Yes. Yes, the better Archer. The Archer that was also in Battlestar Galactica as Ellen Tigh, a fantastic character, who I didn't realise.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep, that's Ellen Tigh. I didn't notice until I rewatched this episode after watching Battlestar, and then I'm going, oh shit, that's her.
Oh, wow, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
So I think she's great. I think she's like a really top tier, like Voyager, like one-off character. I always adore when Star Trek takes the trope of we're once enemies and now we're like consorting amongst them and becoming friends and generating. It's like the core ethos of Trek in action. And I think that even though what is it called? In the Flesh, I think it's called, is the episode. It ties it up a little bit too neatly with Species 8472. Like it's like one episode and then this entire galaxy of other invaders are like, no, you're chill now. But I still just really like the core message of like, even though they have like God knows how many genders and like have like and can like poison you with like a single like claw swipe and are unknowable, they are still essentially, you can still make peace with them. And I kind of enjoy that aspect. That's why I wanted to make her like a decent card.
All right, I'm going to throw a link in the chat here. This is my favorite part of the episode, In the Flesh. It's a great Chakotay episode, which is why I like it. But if you guys can't click on it now, what happens is they're on scene at the San Francisco water reclamation plant or whatever they use for Starfleet headquarters at the time. And, they have to be careful while they're filming. So Chakotay is running away from this horde of ravenous Species 8472 in disguise. They figured out who he is. They're about to capture him. And instead of running away from them, he has to stay off the grass because they're filming on location. So he can only run on the concrete path that they have laid out for him. So he gets easily captured because he can't run on the grass.
That's amazing. I never clocked that in all the times I've watched that.
I think you've ruined. Not that was a pivotal scene, but I think you now have ruined that scene for me. But yeah. That's amazing.
Hey man, he is a man of nature. He respects the
Well, that's
spirits
true.
and the world. He wouldn't possibly. He would never run on the grass.
Where was he running to? To be fair, like, was he running to hide? Wasn't he just?
He was going to get beamed
anyway?
back by Voyager.
Yeah.
He was going to get beamed back by
It's the
Voyager.
it's a Star Trek trope of if the bad guys are behind, if someone's behind the camera, they may as well not be there, even if they're like right there. So he thought his path was clear until they. Yeah.
Two early guards. No, this is a good one. This is a good Boothby episode as well, because the Boothby replica was just nice to have an excuse to shoehorn that character in any reason. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, the behind the scenes says that he was kind of struggling recording that. It was near the end of his life. And you really wouldn't know by watching. I think he did a pretty damn good job. He's still got the spit and vinegar of the TNG Boothby. So.
Good lord. I mean, talking about actors passing away, the guy that played Professor Galen only just passed away at 100 and something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, good on him. You know, I'm surprised to hear that he was still alive. But yeah, there was a... Sorry.
Hey man, you snort all the ashes of that progenitor species and you gain like an extended life.
That's very true. There you go. I have all the races in me. Okay.
I'm sorry, what? Can someone clip that now that we're on Twitch? We need to make that a stream deck hit for later.
I have all the races in me. Yes, Ensign, it's all over me. Just call both of them into one another.
Every woman. All right, Idol, calm down.
Yeah, sorry. And that is it. Yeah, that is it for our fake crew this time. Thank you, Stars, for assembling that wonderful cavalcade of potential crew we will probably never see in the game because there's too many of them.
Hey, now we have like a 1 in 57 hit rate on this, so there's a good chance.
Did we not do one that got in?
Yeah, we did. The one in the 57.
There you go. So yeah, we've done
could happen.
I was gonna make Laris, and then they made her, and I was like, "Oh, you made her worse than I would have." Well, whatever.
We could have. Yeah.
They should have run that by you first, Stars, I think.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, no, like all the money came in. I don't know why they aren't listening to me.
No, we're cut out of the loop now. They've got their own YouTube channel. They're going to start WRG talks. We're secondhand news to them. You know.
I tell you what, fire the torpedo shot across their bow and play that video again to lead us.
I will in just a tick. But we'll end with the video we played at the start again. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Auto and Stars, for joining me. If you're interested, on this Saturday, we will be doing the second part of our Star Trek Adventure stream with very own Stars GMing the original series adventure, which I'm very excited to get in because I'm really enjoying it. So we'll be normal time on Saturday. Come and join us. If you want to watch part 1, it's on the YouTube channel, so you can catch up on that one. It's a great bit of fun. Don't think like, oh, I don't know how Star Trek Adventures works. Honestly, neither do we. We just have a laugh and roll dice, so it's fine.
It's all a load of good fun.
It is really fun. And we got a good group we're doing. We've got Spocky and Shireporn and Skycap joining us. So it's a great time. If you want to catch up, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come join the Discord, all of that kind of thing. And yeah, you can watch properly as not a skirmish, a perfect skirmish or tanking. I think I was your tanking viewing last night when I was doing The Witcher, wasn't I? Auto.
Crazy. I was doing some tank shuttles and I watched the stream last night.
There you go.
I have all the races in me.
And on
hey,
if
you have all the races in you, does that mean that that's an affiliate in your pants?
This is what happens when we go like 2 months between shows. It's so rough.
Discard the joint.
What are you talking about? It's the best show we've ever done.
Every show is the best show we've ever done. It's the best show we've done lately. So on that note, bye from me, bye from you guys. Let's roll the video.
Hello, I'm Ronan Candleman, Chief Stonks Officer of the Ferengi Gambling Consortium. Here to introduce our new cryptocurrency, Polcoin. Polcoin offers you the safety and security you've come to expect from cryptocurrency. But instead of being mined in a Southeast Malaysian sweatshop, you can start earning Polcoin today from the comfort of your Android or iOS device. Here at the Polcoin home screen, you can scroll, select, and inspect to see a staggering amount of Tosk and Mugato Polstars that we swear we removed in the trade audit. By selecting an order, you'll be prompted with dozens of unsolicited fleet requests and harassing direct messages, which may or may not disappear from the in-game chat. However, thanks to our cutting-edge Hirogen network technology, you can now remotely electrocute other players who try to bid against you. including selecting the voltage that you'd like to shock them with across the Polcoin network. You can filter the contents on a variety of Polcoin categories that will enable you to target certain items. When an item has an available listing, press the Buy Now button to have your account immediately suspended for 3 business days. Under the My Transactions tab, you'll see a complete listing of your previous credit card purchases to remind you of all the good times you had pulling packs for Polywater Yar, EDF Adira, and many more. We're excited to offer you this ground floor opportunity for the totally legit Polcoin. If you have any questions, comments have been disabled for this video.